Boss fired me for calling out deadly construction scam. Then Boise's Skyline shook. They didn't just fire me. They stole my tools, my reputation, and 30 years of my life in one afternoon. I wasn't difficult, I was right. If this story moves, you don't forget to drop a comment and subscribe to Revenge with Jack for more unforgettable stories that speak to the heart. I'm Daniel Whitaker, 51, a construction supervisor in Boise, Idaho. 3 decades in the dirt and steel of this trade, warehouses, strip malls, high-rises. I've felt the shudder of a bad beam, heard the groan of a failing weld. My hands are calloused, my back aches, but my pride, ironclad. My life's good, not flashy. A 3-bedroom ranch house mortgage half paid. A 17 Ford F-150, no payments left. My wife, Marissa, 42, keeps me honest. She's a paralegal sharp as a tack with a laugh that still makes my chest tight. No kids, just us and a mutt named Rusty. We're not rolling in millions, but we've got savings of 401k and enough for a steak dinner every Friday. That's my world. Or it was. Last spring, I landed the biggest job of my career. Skyline Plaza, an 8-story office complex, all glass and ambition, set to redefine Boise's skyline. My employer, a mid-sized construction firm, let's call it Apex Builders, had a solid rep pulling in $60 million a year. My salary, $125,000 plus overtime and bonuses. Not bad for a guy who started as a laborer hauling rebar at 18. I ran a crew of 20 good men like Pete Dawson, 56, a welder with stories older than my truck, and Luis Rivera, 32, a climber who sent half his paycheck to his mom in Mexico. They trusted me. I didn't let them down. The job started strong. Blueprints were tight, permits cleared, and the first 2 floors went up smooth. Then we hit delays, supply chain snags, weather the usual. Investors got antsy, and Apex brought in a new project manager, Randy Melton, 48. Randy was all Polish-tailored suits, slicked back hair, and a smile that didn't reach his eyes. He had an MBA, a corner office vibe, and 0 days on a job site. First meeting, he shook my hand too hard, said, "Dan, let's make this quick and profitable." I nodded, but my gut said trouble. Guys like Randy don't build, they manage, and they don't care what breaks as long as the numbers add up. Randy's mantra, speed. We're 6 weeks behind, he'd snap, pacing the site with his tablet Bluetooth earpiece blinking. Investors want Skyline done by Q3. No excuses. Fine, I get deadlines, but construction isn't an app you update overnight. Rush the wrong thing and people die. I'd seen it, a scaffold collapse in '99, a buddy pinned under steel. I wasn't about to let that happen here. Trouble started fast. Week 1 under Randy, I spotted issues. Scaffolding on the east side, suede bolts were undersized, not rated for the load. I climbed up, checked the specs myself. Junk. I snapped photos, sent them to Randy with a note. These need replacing. Unsafe. His reply came in 10 minutes. Noted. Keep your crew moving, Dan. Noted. That's it. I sent another email, CC'd the safety officer, Marissa Coleman. No response. Marissa, 42, was Apex's compliance lead. Tough, smart, with a law degree she downplayed. We'd worked together 5 years, trusted each other like siblings. She'd caught shady subcontractors and missing permits before anyone else. I knew she'd have my back. But even she seemed swamped, buried in Randy's new efficiency protocols. Then the rebar came. Steel rods for the concrete core, critical for an 8-story build. I was on site when the truck rolled in. The paperwork raised a red flag. Grade 40 rebar, not grade 60. Weaker stuff meant for low-rise projects, not a high-rise like Skyline. I told the driver to hold off, grabbed the invoice, and double-checked. My heart sank. This wasn't a typo, it was a cost-cutting swap. I called the supplier. They confirmed. Apex ordered the cheaper grade to save time. Save time. This was a disaster waiting to happen. I marched to Randy's trailer, invoice in hand. He was on a call, feet on the desk, laughing like he owned the place. I waited, jaw tight. He hung up, didn't look up. "What's up, Dan?" I slid the invoice across. "Wrong rebar. Grade 40, not 60. This won't hold the load." He barely glanced at it. "Supplier mix-up." "It's fine. Pour the concrete." I leaned in, voice low. "Randy, this is a high-rise. You pour with this, the core could crack. People die." He smirked, tapped his pen. "You're overreacting. We're on a budget. Move it along." I didn't budge. "I'm not signing off on this." His eyes went cold. "Careful, Dan. You're a supervisor, not a decision-maker. Don't make this a problem." I walked out, pulse hammering. Problem. I was trying to stop one. Back on site, I told my crew to hold off pouring. Pete raised an eyebrow. "Boss, you sure? Melton's gonna flip." I nodded. "Let him. I'm not burying us in a lawsuit or worse." I spent the afternoon documenting. Photos of the rebar batch numbers, even a video of the wobbly scaffolding. I emailed it all to Marissa and Randy, subject line. "Safety violations urgent," Marissa replied. "Got it." Reviewing now. Randy. "Nothing. The next day, Randy called a site meeting. Full crew 7 a.m. He stood on a crate wind whipping his tie and laid into us. We're behind because of delays. Unnecessary delays. His eyes flicked to me. Some of you are slowing us down playing inspector instead of doing your jobs. That stops now. My crew shifted uneasy. Pete muttered, "What's his deal?" I kept my face stone. Randy was marking me. That night I sat in my garage sipping bourbon staring at my toolbox. A beat-up Craftsman worth $2,800 every wrench earned through sweat. Marissa, my wife, poked her head in. "You okay, Dan?" I shrugged. "Just work." She sat her hand on mine. "You're doing the right thing. Don't let that suit push you around." I squeezed her hand. She was my rock. Always had been. Friday it hit the fan. I was checking welds on the 4th floor when Marissa called. "Dan, I found something in the supplier contracts. Meet me at lunch." Before I could ask more, Randy's voice boomed over the radio. "Whitaker, my trailer. Now." I climbed down dust on my boots and walked in. Randy wasn't alone. 2 security guards, big ex-cop types, stood by the door. "Dan," Randy said, voice flat, "you're done." "Insubordination. Clear out." I laughed, stunned. "You're firing me." "For what?" "Keeping this site safe." He didn't blink. "You're a liability. Badge." "Now." The guard stepped closer. My blood boiled, but I handed over my badge. "My tools," I said. "I'll grab them." Randy shook his head. "We'll ship them." "Go." They escorted me out past my crew. Luis stared mouth open. Pete yelled, "This is Bull Melton." I waved him off. No need for them to catch heat. In my truck, I gripped the wheel knuckles white. 30 years gone. My phone buzzed Randy. His text, "Stay out of Boise's job sites, Dan. You're blacklisted." Blacklisted. For doing my job? Then Marissa texted. "Found proof. Randy's hiding something big. Meet me at the diner 1 p." I started the engine jaw set. This wasn't over. Not by a long shot. Randy wanted a fight. He'd get one. And I'd make sure it was a revenge story he'd never forget. I sat across from Marissa Coleman in the diner, the hum of a jukebox cutting through the grease-scented air. Her laptop screen glowed numbers and names staring back like a confession. "This isn't just bad rebar, Dan," she said, voice low, eyes darting to the door. "Apex is running a scam. Cheap materials, inflated invoices, and Randy's signing off on every cent." I leaned in, pulse quickening. The spreadsheet showed it all, thousands in discrepancies. Bolts fireproofing even the concrete mix. Substandard. Ordered deliberately. "They're pocketing the savings," Marissa said, tapping a column. "And it's not just Randy. Carl Hensley's name is on every order." Carl Hensley, 60 Apex's CFO, Boise's golden boy. He coached Little League, sang, and the church choir shook hands at every Chamber of Commerce mixer. If he was dirty, this wasn't a mistake, it was a machine. "How deep does this go?" I asked, voice tight. Marissa's jaw clenched. "Deep enough to bury us both." She slid a printout across. "Emails between Randy and Carl, cryptic but damning." One line from Carl. "Keep Whitaker quiet. He's a problem." I felt the air shift heavy like the moment before a beam snaps. They weren't just cutting corners. They were building a house of cards, and I was the gust about to knock it down. I drove home the Boise Skyline, jagged against the dusk. My wife Marissa. My Marissa was in the kitchen chopping onions, her hair pulled back in a messy bun. I hadn't told her about the firing, the blacklist, the threat in Randy's text. She'd worry, and I wasn't ready to drag her into this storm. But my mind churned. Skyline Plaza wasn't just steel and glass, it had housed accountants, lawyers' families. One bad day, a quake, a fire, and those cheap materials would collapse. Lives would end. My crew, Pete Lewis guys with kids and mortgages, deserve better. I grabbed my phone, typed out every flaw I'd seen. Wobbly scaffolding, weak rebar, rushed welds. I sent it to Marissa Coleman, labeled OSHA report. Then I called Pete. "You still on site?" I asked. His voice was low, tense. "Yeah. Randy's got us on triple shifts. Guys are whispering, Dan, they know shit's off." I gripped the phone. "Document everything. Photos, batch numbers. And watch your back." He grunted. "Way ahead of you." Next morning, I hit the ground running. No job, no tools, but I wasn't out. I met Tom Grayson, 58, at a dive bar across town. Tom, a former contractor turned state licensing board rep, had a face like weathered oak and a bullshit detector sharper than mine. Over lukewarm coffee, I laid it out, the rebar swap, Marissa's spreadsheet, Carl's signatures. Tom's eyes narrowed. "Apex has dodged audits before, Dan. Small stuff, fudged overtime, unlisted subs. But Carl Hensley, that's a nuke." He leaned back, sipping his coffee. "I'll flag it for a state audit, but you're poking a bear." "Randy's got buddies in the mayor's office." I nodded, jaw set. "Let him come." I'm not backing down. That afternoon, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. "Whitaker," a woman's voice shaky. "It's Jenna Walsh. Apex Procurement." Jenna, 35, was a ghost in the office. Quiet, always buried in purchase orders. "I heard you got canned," she said. "I've got something you need." We met at a dog park, her standing by a bench, clutching a thermos like a lifeline. She handed me a USB drive, eyes scanning the trees. Fake invoices, she whispered. Doctored test reports. Emails between Randy Carl and a city inspector. They're bribing him to sign off on the junk materials. I turned the drive over in my hand, small but heavy. Why me? I asked. She bit her lip. You're the only one who didn't look the other way. Back home, I plugged the USB in. Jenna wasn't exaggerating. The files were a goldmine, emails detailing kickbacks to a city official named Vince Russo, 55, a councilman with a smile too wide, and a rap sheet of favors. They'd faked concrete compression tests, swapped fireproofing for a brand that flunked code. One email from Randy to Carl made my skin crawl. Whitaker's a loose end. Blacklist isn't enough. We need him gone. Gone. My fists clenched. This wasn't just about my job, they were ready to crush me. I called Marissa Coleman. Jenna delivered, I said. We've got enough to sink them. She was quiet then. Dan, I had a visitor. Apex's lawyer. They know I'm digging. My stomach lurched. They threaten you. She laughed sharp. Not directly. But they're circling. We need to move fast. We planned it out. She'd finalized the OSHA report. I'd cross-checked Jenna's data. But a question gnawed at me. Randy was a prick, but he wasn't this smart. Who was running the show? The first twist hit like a freight train. Pete texted me at midnight, a grainy photo attached. Found this in Randy's trailer. A blueprint, but not Skyline's approved plan. This one showed thinner beams, less rebar, a skeleton too weak for 8 stories. My heart pounded. They hadn't just swapped materials, they'd redesigned the building to cut costs, knowing it'd never pass inspection. I called Pete. Who's seen this? He hesitated. Just me, but Luis is asking questions. He's pissed about the overtime. I cursed. Tell him to keep quiet. This could get ugly. Pete grunted. Too late. He's already mouthing off. Next morning I met Marissa at her office, a cluttered cube in Apex's HQ. She looked like she hadn't slept, eyes red, coffee cup empty. OSHA's launching a site inspection, she said. But there's more. She slid a photo across her desk, a blurry still from a parking garage camera. Randy shaking hands with Vince Russo. Kickbacks, Marissa said. Vince is greasing permits for Apex. In return, they're bankrolling his campaign. I leaned back, head spinning. This wasn't fraud, it was a conspiracy tangled in Boise's power structure. Then came the second twist. Jenna called, voice trembling. Dan, they know about the USB. Someone saw us at the park. My blood ran cold. Who? She choked back a sob. I don't know. But Randy's shredding procurement files. He's unhinged. I told her to stay home, lock her doors. A leak. Someone was watching. I thought of Luis, too loud with his complaints. Pete sneaking photos. Even Tom, whose audit promise felt too clean. Trust was a luxury I couldn't afford. That night I got a text from an unknown number. Back off Whitaker, or Marissa pays. My heart stopped. Not Marissa Coleman, my wife. I sped home, truck roaring. She was fine, curled on the couch with Rusty watching a cop show. I hugged her, heart hammering. Dan, you're shaking, she said, frowning. I forced a smile. Long day, but sleep was a stranger. I sat up staring at my phone, the threat burned into my brain. They'd crossed a line. This was personal. The third twist came at dawn. Tom Grayson called. Dan, I dug into Apex's financials. Carl's not just signing off, he's got a shell company. Half the material savings are funneled to him. I gripped the phone, rage boiling. Carl the Saint was the puppet master. There's more, Tom said. Randy's a decoy. Carl's setting him up to take the fall if this blows. I laughed, bitter. Randy the cocky suit was just a pawn. Carl had played us all. I met Marissa Coleman at a truck stop, our new spot to dodge eyes. She had OSHA's prelim report violations on every page. They're halting Skyline, she said. But Carl's spinning it. He's saying you faked evidence because you got fired. I snorted. May. They're desperate. She nodded, but her eyes were hard. They're also dangerous. I got another visit. They offered me a promotion to shut up. I stared. You didn't? She cut me off. Of course not. But they're scared, Dan. That's when they're deadliest. The final twist landed like a gut punch. Pete called, voice low. My cousin, Eddie, Apex Security. He heard Randy and Carl last night. They're planning to burn the site office. Wipe the records before OSHA digs deeper. I froze. Arson. They'd torch their own site to save their asses. When? I asked. Pete's voice shook. Tonight. After shift. I hung up, jaw set. Randy, Carl, Vince, they thought they could erase me, my crew, my city. But I wasn't running. This revenge story was mine to finish, and I'd make sure they felt every second of it. I sat in my truck, parked a block from Apex's site. The sky bruised purple. My phone glowed with Pete's text. Fires set for midnight. Office trailer. My jaw tightened. Randy and Carl weren't just covering tracks. They were willing to burn evidence, maybe the whole damn site, to save themselves. I glanced at the passenger seat. Jenna's USB, Marissa Coleman's OSHA report, and a burner phone I'd bought that morning. No turning back. This ended tonight. I called Marissa Coleman. They're torching the office, I said, voice low. Midnight. She sucked in a breath. Jesus, Dan, you sure? I nodded, though she couldn't see. Pete's cousin overheard them. We need to catch them red-handed. She was quiet then. I'm in, but we need backup. OSHA's inspection starts tomorrow. They'll need hard evidence. I gripped the wheel. I'll get it. You stay safe, she snorted. Not a chance. Meet me at the site 11 p.m. Bring the burner. At 10:30. I slipped into a black hoodie and parked near Skyline's perimeter, lights off. The site was quiet, cranes looming like ghosts. Marissa met me by the east fence, her face half lit by a street lamp. She handed me a tiny camera pen-sized clip to my jacket. Records, video, and audio, she whispered. If they're setting a fire, we need proof. I nodded, adrenaline spiking. What about you? She patted her bag. I've got my own. Plus, I called a contact at the fire marshal's office. They're on standby. I raised an eyebrow. You don't ATF trademark to mess around? She smirked. Not when they threaten my city. We split up. I crept toward the office trailer, sticking to shadows. The air smelled of diesel and dust. My heart pounded, but my steps were steady. 30 years on sites like this, I knew every blind spot, every creak of the gravel. At 11:45, a pickup rolled in, headlights off. Randy. He stepped out, glancing around, a gas can in one hand. My stomach twisted. He wasn't just a suit, he was reckless. I started the camera, its red light blinking faintly. Randy slipped inside the trailer. I edged closer, crouching behind a stack of rebar. Through the window, I saw him dousing files, splashing gas on a desk. My burner buzzed Marissa. Carl's here. Westgate. Shit. Both of them. I texted back. Stay back. I've got Randy. Seconds later, Carl's SUV pulled up. He moved fast, for 60, carrying a duffel. I zoomed the camera. He unzipped it, more gas cans. They were going all in. Then the first twist. A third figure emerged from the dark. Vince Russo, the councilman. His tie was loose, face sweaty. This better work, Hensley, he hissed, voice carrying. If OSHA finds those blueprints, my career's done. Carl grunted. Relax. Fire cleans everything. Whitaker's evidence goes with it. My blood ran cold. They knew about the USB, the photos, everything. I steadied the camera, hands shaking. This wasn't just fraud. It was a cover-up tied to City Hall. I texted Marissa. Vince is here. Recording now. Her reply was instant. Fire marshal's 2 minutes out. Hold tight. Hold tight? Randy was splashing gas like a man possessed. I had to move. I crept to the trailer's back door, silent, and slipped inside. The stench of gas choked me. Randy's back was turned, muttering to himself. I hid behind a file cabinet, camera rolling. He lit a match. My heart stopped. Burn, you bastard, he growled, tossing it onto a pile of papers. Flames licked up fast. I bolted, slamming the door behind me. The fire roared, lighting the trailer like a beacon. Randy spun, eyes wide. Who's there? I didn't answer, sprinting for cover. Carl and Vince were shouting, their silhouettes frantic against the glow. Sirens wailed, fire trucks close. Marissa's contact had come through. I ducked behind a crane as the marshal's team rolled in, lights flashing. Randy tried to run, but a firefighter tackled him. Carl froze, hands up. Vince bolted for his SUV, but a cop car cut him off. It was chaos, beautiful chaos. Marissa found me by the fence, her face flushed. You get it? She asked. I tapped the camera. Every second, she grinned fierce. Good. Let's bury them. We slipped away, my truck blending into the night. Back home, I uploaded the footage to a secure drive and sent copies to Marissa, Tom Grayson, and a reporter I knew at the Idaho Statesman, Lisa Harper, 45, a bulldog who'd sniffed out corruption before. By dawn, OSHA had the video and Lisa was drafting a front-page expose. The second twist hit at noon. Tom called. Dan, you won't believe this. Carl's shell company. It's tied to a bigger player. I frowned. Bigger than Vince. Tom's voice dropped. Way bigger. Apex's parent company, some holding group in Seattle. They've been pulling the same scam across 5 states. My head spun. This wasn't just Boise. It was a network, a hydra with Carl as one head. Why tell me? I asked. Tom sighed. Because you started this, and they're coming for you. He wasn't wrong. That afternoon, my burner buzzed a voicemail from an unknown number. Whitaker, a man's voice rasped. You think you're clever? Drop this or your wife's firm gets audited. Her job's gone. My blood boiled. Marissa. My Marissa worked at a small law firm, no connection to Apex. They were hitting her to break me. I stormed inside, told her everything. Her eyes blazed. They think they can scare us, she said, grabbing her laptop. I'm calling my boss. We'll sue their asses for harassment. I loved her fire, but fear gnawed at me. This was deeper than I'd imagined. The third twist came that night. Lisa Harper met me at a bar, her notebook thick with scribbles. "Your video's gold," she said. "But there's a wrinkle." One of Apex's board members flipped. I leaned in. Flipped. She nodded. Henry Tate, 62. Old money, semi-retired. He's been collecting dirt on Carl for years, didn't trust him. When he saw your footage, he went to the feds. I blinked. "The feds?" Lisa smirked. "FBI's involved now. Wire fraud, bribery, arson. Carl's done. Randy, too. Vince is singing to save himself." I drove home, head reeling. The FBI, a board member. This revenge story had outgrown me. Skyline's site was shut down the next day, yellow tape everywhere. OSHA's report hit the news. Violations so bad the building was deemed unsafe. Demolition crews were called. Apex's stock tanked, their parent company under federal scrutiny. Randy was arrested, cuffed on live TV. Carl lawyered up, but his shell company's accounts were frozen. Vince resigned, his campaign dead. The final twist wasn't loud, it was quiet, and it cut deep. Pete pulled me aside at a diner, his hands shaky. "Dan, I gotta tell you something." "Luis." He was working with Randy. I stared, gut-punched. "Luis." "My climber." Pete nodded, eyes down. "Randy paid him to spy on you." Those questions he asked. He was feeding Randy your moves? I felt sick. Luis, who I'd mentored, who I'd trusted. "Why tell me now?" I asked. Pete sighed. "He came clean to me last night. Guilty as hell. He's turning state's evidence." I nodded, numb. Betrayal stung worse than Randy's threats. Weeks later, I stood on a new site working for a smaller firm, Boise Builders, $10 million a year, honest work. They'd hired me as a senior supervisor, $130,000, no questions about my past. Marissa Coleman joined too as their compliance chief. Pete and Jenna came aboard, loyal to the end. Luis, he disappeared, probably in witness protection. My tools, never got them back. But I bought new ones, paid cash. My wife's firm dodged the audit, and she was fiercer than ever, planning a civil suit against Apex's remnants. I watched the sunset, my hard hat scratched but solid. Boise's Skyline looked different without Skyline Plaza. Cleaner somehow. I'd done what I set out to do, exposed the truth, protected my crew, my city. But at what cost? Friends lost. Trust broken. And that question lingered. Had I gone too far? Carl was in jail, Randy disgraced, Vince a pariah. But the parent company, still out there lurking. Did I win or just start a bigger fight? I don't have answers. Maybe you do. Was I right to keep pushing even when they came for my wife? Or should I have walked away, let the city handle its own rot? Like what you heard. Hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Revenge with Jack. Because the next story might just be your favorite one yet. Boss fired me in Boise for too cautious. My plans were his pitch, and then my boss fired me for calling out faulty beams at the site. He said I was too cautious, then sold my safety plans as his own. That was the day I stopped being his foreman. If this story moved you, don't forget to drop a comment, and subscribe to Revenge with Jack for more unforgettable stories that speak to the heart. I'm Zachary Monroe, 49, the guy who's kept construction sites standing for 25 years. As head foreman in Boise, Idaho, I didn't just manage crews, I built legacies. My safety protocols saved lives. My team's grit kept projects on time. And my plans brought in $10 million last year for a firm now worth $60 million. Life was good. A craftsman house in the North End, a '69 Mustang in the garage, and weekends fishing with my brother Cole on the Boise River. No wife, no kids, just blueprints, coffee, and a reputation I'd earned. My latest project, a 10-story office complex downtown, was my pride. 0 incidents, 20% under budget. And a design that could withstand an 8.0 quake. I wasn't rich, but I was solid. My work was my word. Until Darren Cotter decided to burn it down. Darren, 53, rolled in as CEO in June 2025, a slick dealmaker from a failing Portland firm. Tailored suits, sharper ego with a smile that screamed control. The board called him a game changer, but I saw a hustler. Our first meeting set the tone. "Zachary," he said, leaning back in his corner office, "your safety checks are thorough, but they're slowing us down. We're prioritizing speed." I pushed back, calm but firm. "My protocols cut accidents by 90%, saving millions in lawsuits. Data didn't lie." He brushed it off. "Caution isn't profit, Monroe." That was the first jab. I didn't know he was loading a sledgehammer. 2 weeks later, I'm on site inspecting beams when my lead carpenter, Nate Larson, flags me down. "Zach, you see this." He points to a stack of substandard steel grade B, not the grade A my plans required. My gut churns. "These beams won't hold under stress." I order a halt and report it to Darren. His email back is curt. "Handle it quietly. We're on a deadline." Quietly. I've buried men under shortcuts. I escalate to the project manager, Jenna Walsh. Jenna, 38, is fierce with a surveyor's eye and a fire that matches her dark curls. "This is reckless," she says, backing me. We document the steal, send it to the board, and demand a supplier audit. No reply. That night, I'm at my house sipping bourbon, the Boise skyline flickering through the dusk. Darren's silence isn't oversight, it's a play. Next morning, I'm back on site checking the foundation when Nate pulls me aside. Boss, they swapped the concrete mix, cheaper grade untested. My jaw clenches. This isn't a mistake, it's a pattern. I grab my tablet log, 12 violations, cracked scaffolding, faulty wiring, now this. I fire off a report to OSHA, copying the board. Darren calls me an hours later. Zachary, you're stirring trouble, he says, voice smooth as venom. We're cutting costs, not corners. I hold his gaze. Those beams fail, men die. He smirks. You're too careful, Monroe. The air's thick, his eyes cold. I walk out, my boots heavy on the polished floor. Friday night, I'm at the Rusty Nail, our crew's bar, but the mood's grim. Nate's nursing a stout, Jenna's scrolling her phone. Darren's freezing us out, Nate mutters. Board's eating his pitch. I slam my glass down. Then we make them spit it out. Doubt creeps in, though. Darren's not just sidelining me, he's erasing me. My phone buzzes a text from an unknown number. Check Darren's laptop. Site trailer tomorrow 5 My pulse spikes. A tip. A setup. I show Nate. Could be real, he says. Jenna's wary. Or Cotter's baiting you. I don't sleep, the text a live wire in my brain. Saturday, I'm at the site at 4. 30 heart pounding like I'm defusing a bomb. The trailer's dark, but the laptop's on. I use an old crew log and call it a habit from my early days. I pull up Darren's files and find my safety plans rebranded as his pitch to investors for a $15 million deal. My blood boils. But there's more. Emails with his Portland ally Victor Cotter, Quantum Builders CFO. Monroe's a liability. Replace him, Darren writes. My fists clench. Replace. I've carried this firm for decades. I copy the files, hands shaking with rage. Back home, I'm pacing the evidence, burning a hole in my drive. Cole's over-sensing my mood. Zach, you're a storm. He says his electrician's calm cutting through. I want to spill Darren the steel, the betrayal, but I hold back. Work bullshit, I mutter. He grabs my arm, fierce. You're not alone, man. His words ground me, but the storm doesn't quit. I dive into Darren's emails, finding a thread with Victor. Monroe's OSHA report could tank the deal. Neutralize him. Neutralize. The word chills me. This is war. Monday, I'm playing the good soldier, but Darren's escalating. He calls a site meeting, all charm. Folks, we're fast-tracking. Trust the plan. My crew looks to me, waiting for a signal. I stay stone-faced. After Darren corners me. Zachary, I need your buy-in. No stunts. His voice is silk eyes daggers. I nod cold. Whatever you say, Darren. He misses the edge in my tone. Mistake. That afternoon, I get a call from Roger Vance, the board's skeptic. Zachary, your OSHA report's solid. Why's Darren ignoring it? I take a risk. Ask him about Victor Cotter and Quantum's deal. I hang up, planting a seed. That night, I'm at the Rusty Nail alone, staring at a bourbon. Jenna slides in across from me, her perfume sharp, her voice low. Zach, you're brooding, she says, teasing. I grunt. Darren's screwing us. Her eyes narrow. Then screw him back. I've got dirt. She slides me a USB photo, specs my plans and Darren's pitches. Use it, she says, her hand brushing mine. The air shifts electric, but I pull back. This fight's about steel, not heat. Tuesday, my site pass is dead. Security's waiting, new guy Vince with an HR letter signed by Darren. Termination effective immediately. Obstructing progress. My vision blurs. Progress. I saved lives. I don't argue. I walk head high, but my gut's ablaze. In my Mustang, I call Nate. He's on site, says Darren's spinning lies about safety failures tied to me. Failures. My protocols were gold. I drive to a diner, open my laptop, and dig. I've got photos, logs, everything. Then I find it an email from Darren to Victor sent last night. Monroe's out. Push the deal. My blood boils. He didn't just fire me, he's burying me. That night, I meet Nate and Jenna at the Rusty Nail. They're pissed, loyal, ready to burn it down. Darren's trashing your plans, Jenna says. Quantum specs are your protocols tweaked. Nate slams his beer down. What's the play? I lean in, voice low. We don't just save my name. We expose Darren's scam. I show them Jenna's USB, the files. Jenna whistles. That's fraud. Nate's thinking bigger. We need the board. Or OSHA. I nod. First, we need leverage. Wednesday, I'm at a park meeting Roger. He's cautious, but here. I hand him Jenna's USB photos, emails, my plans, and Quantum's pipeline. This is Darren's game, I say. He's cutting corners, selling my work for a cut. Roger takes it, eyes hard. If this checks out, Zachary, you've got me. If not, he doesn't finish. I watch him go, the weight of 25 years on my chest. Darren thinks he's won, but I'm just getting started. Thursday morning, the anonymous text, check Darren's laptop, is a spark in my blood. I'm Zachary Monroe, 49, fired from the Boise construction firm I carried for 25 years. My safety protocol stolen by Darren Cotter, the CEO, who called me too cautious. Jenna's USB loaded with proof of his theft is my weapon, but it's not enough. Darren's not just erasing my work, he's rewriting my name. My North End house feels like a bunker, the Boise Skyline a grim witness through the dawn fog. This fight isn't about my job, it's about my truth, and I'm fighting to make it heard. I'm up before the sun, coffee bitter, diving into Darren's digital trail. Using a backdoor login from my early days, I crack his cloud drive. His emails with Victor Cotter, Quantum Builders CFO, are brazen. Monroe's out. His protocols are ours. Close the deal in 2 weeks. My blood burns. My safety plans, my life's work repackaged for Quantum's shaky empire. I dig deeper, finding a wire transfer $600,000 from Quantum to a Boise account under Darren's alias Daniel Cross. A kickback sloppy and damning. I encrypt it, stashing the drive in my toolbox, hands steady, but my gut a furnace. Darren's not just a thief, he's a crook. At 7 a.m., I call Nate Larson, my lead carpenter. He's on site dodging Quantum contractors, mangling my protocols. "Zach, it's a disaster," he says, voice low. "Clients are spooked, scaffolding's failing. My safety plan's $10 million in revenue torn apart by hacks." "What about Jenna?" I ask. Nate pauses. "Walsh is off, said it's personal." Jenna Walsh, my project manager who'd inspect rebar in a storm, ghosting us. My instincts scream betrayal. "Watch her," I say. "And Darren." Nate grunts. "Got it, boss." I hit the firm's project logs, hunting Darren's fingerprints. Their fake consulting fees to Quantum buried as site expenses tied to Jenna's login. My chest tightens. Jenna, my ally. I text her. "Meet me, urgent." No reply. My mind churns. Darren's turned my crew against me. I pull up the audit trail, finding tampered specs time-stamped to Jenna's late-night sessions. He's planting violations to pin on me. This isn't just a revenge story, it's a setup. Noon, I'm at a dive bar off Vista meeting Tucker Hayes 50, a private investigator with a nose for corporate dirt. He slides in, eyes sharp. "Zach, Darren's got a fixer, Elliot Kane, ex-corporate muscle. He's sending your texts." My pulse spikes. The tip, the frame job, a machine. Tucker hands me a flash drive. "Kane's client logs. Darren's paying him to paint you as a saboteur." I pocket it, jaw clenched. Kane's angle. Tucker leans in. "He's forging invoices in the firm's books, $250,000 fraud, all pointing to you." I nod, the game clear. Darren's not just stealing my plans, he's stealing my future. Back at my house, Cole's there, his electrician's grit reading my mood. "Zach, you're a wildfire," he says, cracking a beer. I want to unload Darren, Jenna the fixer, but his kids are playing nearby and I choke it back. "Work crap," I mutter. He grabs my arm, fierce. "You don't fight alone, man." His words hit, but the war's in my head. I hack Quantum server old skills razor sharp and find a gold mine. My safety protocols rebranded as Quantum Secure, set for a $12 million rollout. Worse, there's a dossier, my roots, Cole's shop hours, my Mustang's plates. My blood runs cold. Darren's not just after my job, he's watching my life. I'm about to call Nate when Jenna texts. "Zach, I fucked up. Meet me at the old quarry, 6 p.m. No details, just desperation. My gut screams trap, but Jenna's family. I grab my keys and roll. The quarry's a relic, cracked stone, dust clouds, Boise's past, rotting under the heat. Jenna's waiting, pale hands shaking. "Darren got to me," she admits, voice raw. "Offered to cover my mom's medical bills if I tweaked your logs." My fists clench. "Jenna, my partner, sold me out." "Why?" I snarl. She meets my gaze, broken. "I was drowning, Zach. But I held back the worst." I step closer, voice ice. "What's his next move?" She swallows. "He's meeting Quantum tomorrow night, sealing the deal. Private club, the Iron Vault." I nod, rage coiling. "You're with me or you're done." She nods, tears falling. Trust shattered, but I need her eyes. Friday morning, I'm at a diner plotting. Cole texts. "Found dirt. Darren's dodging taxes buddy at the city saw his filings. My brother, the quiet warrior, digging for me." I call Tucker. "Need a way into the Iron Vault," I say. He laughs sharp. "Got a guy, ex-bouncer, hates rich suits." "You're in." "I'm not crashing Darren's deal, I'm burning it down." I hack the Iron Vault's network cameras, Wi-Fi guest logs. It's tight, but I've cracked worse. Darren's emails reveal more. Monroe's OSHA report could kill the deal. Bury him before the rollout. Bury? The word sears. He's not just stealing, he's erasing me. That afternoon, Roger Vance calls. "Zachary, your USB's legit. Quantum's cutting corners, faulty steel, bad wiring." Why's Darren pushing it? I take a gamble. He's cashing out. Check Daniel Cross's account. He's silent then. "We're auditing Quantum. Stay sharp." Adrenaline surges. The board's waking up, but Darren's not asleep. My phone pings anonymous text. "Monroe, we've got your brother's shop schedule." "Back off." My breath catches. Cole. Kane's hitting my family. Friday night, I'm outside the Iron Vault, Boise's elite playground, all chrome and shadows. Tucker's guy slips me past the doorman, my borrowed jacket tight. Inside, it's Velvet and Whiskey Darren at a corner table with Victor Cotter and two quantum suits laughing like emperors. My blood simmers, but I stay icy, sliding into a booth. I've got a burner phone with Jenna's app, a data sniffer to grab their files. I text Nate parked a block away with a jammer. Go. Their Wi-Fi crashes, forcing them to my rigged hotspot. Emails, contracts, rollout plans, everything flows to me. The first twist slams in. A hand grabs my arm. I spin, expecting security, but it's Jenna, eyes blazing, no trace of last night's wreck. "Zach, I'm all in," she whispers. "Darren threatened my mom's life. I'm done." Before I can reply, Darren clocks us. His face shifts shock, then fury. He strides over Victor, trailing. "Monroe," he sneers, "you're pathetic." I stand, locking eyes. "You stole my plans, Darren. You're finished." Jenna's at my side, solid. The air crackles, the club's elite watching. The second twist lands like a collapsing beam. A man steps forward, Lila Harper, 46, our CFO, holding a tablet. "Darren's not just stealing," she says, voice like a blade. "He's laundering money through quantum." She swipes, showing bank records, Daniel Cross millions funneled offshore. My jaw drops. "Lila." "Here." Her eyes meet mine sharp. "You didn't think I'd let him gut us, did you?" "I forgot Lila's got Boise's finance world on lock." "She's not just my colleague, she's my ace." Darren's pale, stammering. "Lies." Victor bolts, but security's closing and not for us. Lila signaled a state auditor waiting outside. Chaos explodes. Darren lunges for the tablet, but Jenna blocks him swift. The auditor steps in, badge gleaming. "Darren Cotter, you're coming with us." The club empties, whispers trailing. I'm left with Jenna and Lila, my pulse hammering. "Lila saved me, but Jenna's eyes are cold." "You didn't trust me, Zach," she says, voice low. "We're not square." She walks out, leaving me in the wreckage. Lila grips my arm. "We got him." But victory tastes like ash. "Saturday, I'm home, the house too quiet." Roger calls. "Darren's suspended quantum's done. We're auditing his accounts." "You're cleared, Zachary. We want you back." I nod, but my mind's on Jenna. I shut her out, fought alone, and it cost us. I drive to her apartment where she's reviewing specs, her face guarded. "I'm sorry," I start. She cuts me off. "You didn't see me, Zach." "Not really." I don't argue, she's right. "Tell me how to fix it," I say. Her eyes soften just a fraction. "Start by showing up. We talk jagged, real, no guarantees. It's a spark, not a fire." Sunday, I'm chasing Kane's trail. Tucker's drive has a lead. Payments to a local blogger prepping a smear piece on me. Kane's still out there, a shadow with teeth. My phone buzzes Nate. Jenna's back, but she's shaken. "Found more stolen protocols in Quantum's pipeline." I grit my teeth. Darren's gone, but his machine's grinding. I hack deeper, finding a Blackthorn email. Monroe's brother is leverage. "Push harder." My blood runs cold. Cole's not just a bystander, he's a target. Monday, I'm at the site rebuilding my crew. Nate's solid, Jenna's proving herself. But Jenna's distance is a wound. I text her. "Dinner." She replies, "Maybe." It's not a yes, but it's hope. I'm not just fighting for my plans anymore, I'm fighting for trust, for family, for the man I still want to be. The third twist hits that evening. I'm at the Rusty Nail sipping bourbon when Nate rushes in. "Zach, Jenna found something." He hands me a tablet. Quantum's internal memo dated yesterday outlining a backup plan to relaunch my protocols under a shell company, Apex Constructs. Darren's name is absent, but Victor Cotter is listed as CEO. My jaw tightens. Darren's out, but his brother's keeping the scam alive. I call Jenna. "You okay?" She's steady but tense. "I'm fine." "But Apex is using your plan, Zach." "They're not done." I lean back, the bar's dim light casting shadows. "Then neither are we." Tuesday, I meet Tucker at a park away from eyes. "Apex is a front," he says, handing me another drive. Kane's coordinating their data transfers. He's got a mole in the firm, someone close. My stomach drops. Close. I trust Nate, Lila, but Jenna, her absence, her guilt, it gnaws at me. "Find the mole," I say. Tucker nods grim. "Watch your back, Zach. Kane's not just a fixer, he's a ghost." That afternoon, I'm back at the site, cross-referencing Apex's contracts. I find a thread. Apex's funding traces to a Boise VC, Pinnacle Ventures, where Clara Holt's brother is a partner. My breath catches. Clara, the board member who backed my report. The fourth twist stings. She's not just neutral, she's complicit. I save the evidence, my hands shaking. This isn't just Darren, it's a web and I'm tangled in it. Wednesday, I confront Jenna at her apartment, door shut. "You holding back?" I ask, voice low. Her eyes flash hurt. "You think I'm the mole?" She pulls up her laptop, showing emails she intercepted Kane's orders to an unknown insider, not her. "I'm fighting for you, Zach," she says, voice breaking. "But you keep pushing me away." My chest aches. I misjudged her again. "I'm sorry," I mutter. She nods, but the rift's still there. "We need to hit Apex," she says. Hard. I agree, the fire rekindling. Thursday, I meet a whistleblower from Pinnacle Ventures, Elise Carter. 43, a compliance officer who smells a scam. She slides me a folder. Pinnacle's investments in Apex funneled through offshore accounts linked to Victor. Clara's in deep, Elise whispers. She's betting on Quantum's collapse to cash out. My mind races. Clara's playing both sides. I thank Elise, my resolve hardening. This fight's bigger than Darren. It's a syndicate. Friday, I hack Apex's servers, finding my protocols embedded in their specs. But there's a fifth twist. A hidden flaw in the design not mine set to fail under load. My heart sinks. Someone inside the firm planted it, and it's not Jenna. I call Nate. Check Lila's access logs. He hesitates. Lila. She's clean, Zach. I don't buy it. Check. Hours later, he calls back, voice grim. You're right. Lila's been logging in after hours, tweaking the specs. Lila, our CFO, the one who saved me at the Iron Vault. The betrayal cuts deep. Saturday, I confront Lila at her office door locked. Why? I demand showing the logs. She doesn't flinch. Darren offered me a cut, she says, voice flat. I took it, but I didn't expect you to fight this hard. My fists clench. You sold us out. She leans in, eyes cold. Join Apex, Zachary. They'll pay. I laugh bitter. I'm not you. I walk out her betrayal await. I'm not just fighting Darren anymore. I'm fighting a machine. Monday evening, Roger Vance's offer, head foreman full control, hits like a lifeline. But Jenna's words cut sharper. You keep pushing me away, Zach. Darren Cotter's suspended quantum builders is crumbling and my safety protocols are back in play, but I'm not celebrating. My crew's trust is frayed. My bond with Jenna's strained, and Elliot Kane, Darren's fixer, is still out there. A shadow with claws. I'm Zachary Monroe, 49, and this fight isn't done. It's a fire I'm still stoking. I'm on site diving into the mess Quantum left. Nate Larson's at my side, his eyes gritty as we rebuild my safety framework. Zach, we're clawing back, he says. Clients are stabilizing, but the scaffolding's shaky. My protocol's $10 million in revenue nearly gutted by sabotage. I nod, my focus split. Jenna. Nate shrugs. Walsh is working, but she's distant. Jenna Walsh, who tweaked my logs for Darren, is on probation. I glance at her across the site, her dark curls catching the morning sun, clipboard in hand. One shot, I mutter. Nate nods, but the air's heavy loyalty's a ghost. By noon, I'm scouring the firm's financials, hunting Kane's tracks. Tucker Hayes texts. Kane's active. Paid a Boise cop, Liam Reese, to flag your taxes. Watch your back. My pulse spikes. Taxes. Kane's digging deep, and Liam Reese is a badge with a price. I hack Blackthorn Security's server again, finding a forged invoice in my name, $350,000 siphoned from the site budget. Fraud. The frame's tightening, and Darren's emails are still flowing even from a cell. I save it, my gut churning. Darren's down, but his network's alive. That afternoon, Roger calls me to the trailer. Clara Holt's there with Owen Reed, the board's new face. Roger's all business. Zachary Quantum's done. Darren laundered millions through them. We're suing. I nod, but my eyes are on Clara. She's too still, her hands clasped. What's the catch? I ask. Clara sighs. Darren's claiming you sabotaged the site, faked the evidence. He's out on bail and his lawyer's pushing a countersuit. The first twist hits like a falling beam. Bail. After theft fraud, the auditor bust. Owen leans in. Zachary, we need your protocols back online. Take the role or we're exposed. It's a deal with strings. I don't blink. I'm in. My crew, my plans, no interference. Roger nods, relieved. Clara's eyes flicker doubt or something else. I'm not buying her clean hands. As I leave, my phone pings anonymous text. Monroe, we've got your brother's shop hours. Quit or they leak. My breath catches. Cole. Kane's hitting my family. I delete it, but the threat coils like smoke. Tuesday, I'm at my house briefing Cole. He's in a flannel, his electrician's calm, unshaken. I found more, he says, sliding me a USB. It's a tax auditor's memo, Daniel Cross dodging millions in revenue. My buddy at the city flagged it, he adds. My brother, my rock digging for me. My chest tightens. What's your play? He asks. I lean in, voice low, hit his wallet. His offshore accounts are his lifeline. He nods fierce. Don't lose yourself, Zach. His words linger as I clap his shoulder, his strength my anchor. That night I'm chasing Darren's offshore trail. Tucker's intel points to a Bermuda account layered through shell companies. I hack deeper, finding a ledger. $6 million from Quantum to Darren funneled via a Boise firm, Pinnacle Ventures. The name stops me cold. Clara Holt's brother is Pinnacle's CFO. The second twist burns. Clara, the board's ally, is neck deep in Darren's cash. I save it, my blood simmering. This isn't just Darren, it's a syndicate. Wednesday, I confront Clara at her office door locked. Pinnacle Ventures, I say, tossing the ledger on her desk. She pales, stammering. Zachary, it's not, I cut her off. You're profiting while Darren guts us. Flip or I go to Roger. Her eyes dart, but she nods, cornered. What do you need? I lean in cold. Feed Darren's lawyer bad intel. Stall the countersuit. She agrees, sweating. I've got a mole, but it's a gamble. Clara's a snake. Thursday hits like a storm. I'm on site rebuilding with Nate and Jenna. Jenna's silent, her guilt a shadow, but her inspections are flawless. I pull her aside. You good? She meets my gaze raw. I'm here, Zach. I owe you. I nod, not forgiving, but accepting. The site's recovering incident rate down 15%, protocols stabilizing. But my phone buzzes Tucker. Kane's escalating. Drafted a police report, your name on it. Fraud and sabotage. My heart races. The frame's closing. I call Cole. Stay with Mom tonight, I say. Safe. His voice is steady. We've got this, man. That afternoon I meet Tucker at a bar off State Street. He's got a new drive. Kane's comms with Liam Reese planning to plant fake invoices in the firm's books. You're the fall guy, Tucker says. Darren's betting you'll crack. I smirk grim. He's wrong. I lock out Kane's back doors in the firm's servers, a temporary fix. Back home, Jenna's waiting, her perfume sharp, her eyes intense. I pulled strings, she says. OSHA's raiding Apex tomorrow. Darren's name's all over it. I pull her close, her fire grounding me. You're a damn genius, I say, her eyes worn. Don't shut me out again, Zach. Friday the third twist lands. Nate bursts into the trailer. Zach board's meeting. Now, Darren's here. Here. On bail, disgraced. I storm to the boardroom where Darren stands, suit-crisp lawyer smirking. Roger's furious, Clara's stone-faced, Owen's avoiding my gaze. Darren's voice is silk. Zachary sabotaged the site, faked the evidence. I'm the victim! His lawyer slides a tablet, screenshots of my server hacks twisted to look criminal. My stomach drops. They've got me spun into a thief. Roger snaps, Zachary explained. I don't waver. Darren's framing me to hide his laundering. Ask Clara about Pinnacle. Clara flinches, caught. The room erupts, but Roger bangs the table. We're auditing Pinnacle. Today, I walk out head high, but my pulse is a drum. Darren's playing dirty, and he's good. I call Tucker. They've got my hacks, I say. He curses. Kane's work. End this. He gives a lead. Darren's meeting Apex tonight, a warehouse on Chinden Boulevard. Crash it, Tucker says. I'm all in. Friday night, I'm at the warehouse, Boise's night air thick with grit. Nate's with me, Jenna on lookout. Inside, Darren's with Victor Cotter and an Apex exec, voices low over contracts. I've got a recorder, Jenna's OSHA docs, and a burner phone. The plan, catch them red-handed. But the fourth twist hits. A flashlight blinds me. Liam Reese, the dirty cop gun drawn. Monroe, hands up. My heart pounds, but I stay calm. Wrong side, Reese. He smirks. Darren pays better. Before I can move, Jenna dives from the shadows, tackling Reese. Nate grabs the gun. We're not fighters, but we're desperate. Darren's voice cuts through. Zachary, you're nothing. He steps forward, unfazed. You can't stop me. I hold up the recorder, streaming to Roger's server. You stole my plans, laundered millions. You're finished. His face twists, but Victor bolts, tripping alarms. Sirens wail, Jenna's OSHA raid right on time. Reese scrambles, but Nate's got him pinned. Darren lunges, but I sidestep, 25 years of grit outmatching his polish. Game over, I say. He's cuffed as the raid sweeps in, Victor and the Apex exec nabbed. Saturday, I'm home, the house quiet. Roger calls. Darren's done. Pinnacle's under OSHA scrutiny. You're cleared, Zachary. Foreman's yours. I nod, but my eyes are on Jenna working at my table, her face soft but guarded. We need to talk, I say. She sets her clipboard down, voice low. You fought for your plans, Zach. Now fight for us. We sit raw, unraveling trust and time. It's messy, no quick fixes, but it's real. Nate texts. We good? I reply. Working on it. Cole's safe, his hug fierce. The fifth twist comes Sunday. I'm on site checking Apex's specs when Jenna calls. Zach, it's Lila. Lila Harper, our CFO, who turned on me. She's talking to OSHA, claiming you approved the flawed designs. My blood runs cold. Lila's flipping the script, painting me as the mastermind. I meet Jenna at a diner, her eyes blazing. She's lying, she says, showing Lila's emails to Kane, plotting to frame me. We need to expose her. I nod, the fight reigniting. Let's end it. Monday, I meet Elise Carter, the Pinnacle whistleblower, at a park. She's got more. Clara's been siphoning funds from Pinnacle to Apex, betting on my protocols to cash out. Clara's the kingpin, Elise says. The sixth twist hits. Clara, not Darren, is the syndicate's head. I hand Elise's docs to Roger, who's stunned. Clara's out, he says. We're rebuilding with you. I nod, but my mind's on Lila. Tuesday, I confront Lila at her condo door, locked. You framed me, I say, showing the emails. She laughs cold. You're too honest, Zachary. I had to slow you down. My fists clench. Why? She leans in, eyes sharp. Power. Apex offered more than you ever could. I walk out, her betrayal await. I send the emails to OSHA, sealing her fate. Wednesday, I'm at the site inspecting beams when a seventh twist lands. Nate pulls me aside. Zach found a hidden report. It's an internal audit buried by Clara, showing my protocols were flagged as over-engineered to justify Darren's cuts. My jaw tightens. They used my caution against me. I forward it to OSHA, the final nail. Weeks later, I'm foreman, my protocol's stronger, my crew whole. Darren's facing trial. Clara's gone, Lila's under investigation. But I'm not gloating. I'm building sites, trust bonds. One night, I'm at the rusty-nailed Jenna beside me. A text. Nice win, Monroe. Sleep tight. No name, but it's Kane. My pulse spikes, but I shut my phone. Jenna's hand finds mine. You did right, she says, quoting my old mantra. Build it strong or don't build at all. Did I fight too hard or not enough? Should I forgive Jenna or let her go? Rebuild trust or walk away? Like what you heard? Hit that like button. Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to Revenge with Jack because the next story might just be your favorite one yet. Caught my wife cheating in Columbus. Her lies to cops backfired. I caught my wife in our bed with another man and she called the cops on me. She lied to their faces saying I was the threat while her lover slipped out the back. I stayed calm, handed over the truth, and watched her world start to crumble. If this story moves, you don't forget to drop a comment and subscribe to Revenge with Jack for more unforgettable stories that speak to the heart. I'm Landon Vickers, 47, a project manager for an HVAC firm in Columbus, Ohio. I grew up in a Rust Belt town, son of a welder and a diner waitress scraping by after the steel mills closed. Worked construction to put myself through trade school, learned the HVAC game, and climbed to managing multi-million-dollar installs. My firm pulls in $50 million a year commercial jobs, mostly hospitals, office parks. I earn $135,000 solid for a guy who started with a toolbox and a beat-up Chevy. My life's good, not glitzy. A 3-bedroom ranch mortgage nearly done. A 2021 Ram 1500, no payments. My wife Dana, 38, is a part-time yoga instructor and full-time dreamer, always chasing the next big idea from Etsy shops to juice cleanses. No kids, just us, and a rescue dog Boomer who snores louder than I do. We've got savings, a nest egg, and a yearly trip to the Smoky Mountains. 15 years married, I thought we were unbreakable. I was wrong. Dana and I met at a bar, her laugh cutting through the noise like a beacon. She was vibrant, all energy and big plans, while I was the steady one, mapping out budgets and 401ks. We balanced each other, or so I thought. I worked long hours, sometimes out of state, but I trusted her. She'd text me goofy selfies, call me her rock. I believed every word. Looking back, I was blind. Trouble started 6 months ago. Dana got distant. She'd stay up late, phone glowing, claiming client bookings. Her yoga classes stretched into networking dinners. I'd come home from a job dog-tired and find her distracted, barely listening. Just tired, she'd say, flashing a smile that didn't reach her eyes. I chalked it up to her latest hustle, some wellness retreat she was pitching. I should have paid attention. The first clue hit in March. I was in Cleveland overseeing a hospital retrofit when Dana texted. Late class tonight, don't wait up. Nothing weird, but my phone pinged again, an email from our joint bank account. A $500 withdrawal, cash, no receipt. Dana wasn't big on cash. She loved her credit card points. I called her. What's the withdrawal? I asked. She laughed, breezy. Oh, supplies for the retreat. Forgot to mention. I bought it, but my gut stirred. That night, I checked our account. More withdrawals, $300, $200, all cash, all recent. I didn't ask again. Didn't want to seem paranoid. April brought more. Dana started name-dropping a new client, Terry Corman. He's big in real estate, she said, eyes bright. Wants to fund my retreat. Terry was 49, a divorced developer with a rep for flashy cars and flashier promises. I met him once at a charity run Dana dragged me to. He shook my hand too long, called me buddy, and bragged about his lake house. I didn't like him, but Dana glowed around him. He's just a partner, she said when I raised an eyebrow. Business, Landon. I nodded, swallowing my unease. By May, the signs were louder. Dana's phone was glued to her hand, passcode changed. She'd step outside to take calls, her voice low, laughing in a way she hadn't with me in months. I found a new perfume in her drawer, expensive, not her style. Gift from a client, she said, shrugging. I wanted to believe her. I did, but doubt crept in cold and sharp. The breaking point came in June. I was in Pittsburgh, a week-long job, when the client signed off early. I decided to surprise Dana, drive home a day ahead. I texted her from the road. Miss you. Be home tonight. No reply. Odd, but I figured she was teaching. I hit Columbus at 8 p.m. The house dark except for a flicker upstairs. Boomer greeted me, tail wagging, but the air felt wrong. A bottle of red wine sat open on the counter, half empty, 2 glasses. Dana drank white. My stomach twisted. I climbed the stairs, heart pounding. Our bedroom door was ajar, soft music drifting out. I pushed it open. Dana was there in our bed with Terry Corman. My world stopped. Her eyes met mine, wide with shock. Terry scrambled, grabbing his shirt. I stood frozen, the air sucked from my lungs. Landon, Dana stammered, pulling the sheet up. You're early. Early. That's all she had. I didn't yell, didn't swing. Just turned and walked downstairs, my boots heavy on the hardwood. I sat on the couch staring at the wall, Boomer at my feet. Dana rushed down, hair messy, wrapped in a robe. "It's not what you think," she said, voice shaking. I looked at her, calm, cold. "Don't." She kept going, words tumbling. "It was a mistake. I was lonely. You're always gone." I held up a hand. "Stop." She didn't. She grabbed her phone, dialed 911. "My husband's threatening me," she sobbed to the operator. "He's out of control." I blinked, stunned. "Threatening?" I hadn't raised my voice. Terry was gone, slipped out the back like a coward. Sirens wailed outside. 2 cops knocked a man and a woman, badges glinting. Dana pointed at me, tears streaming. "He came home, went crazy. I'm scared." The male cop, Officer Hayes, eyed me. "Sir, step outside." I stood, hands up. "Check the cameras," I said, voice steady. "Living room, hallway." "They're on." The female cop, Officer Ruiz, frowned. "Cameras." I nodded. "Installed last year. Motion activated." Dana's face paled. Hayes stayed with me. Ruiz went with Dana to the security system. 10 minutes later, Ruiz returned, her expression hard. "Ma'am," she said to Dana, "the footage shows your husband walking in, sitting down. No threats. No yelling." Dana stammered. I panicked. Hayes crossed his arms. "False reports are a crime, Mrs. Vickers." They cuffed her, read her rights. She begged, "Landon, tell them." I looked away, my heart a stone. They took her to the precinct. I packed a bag, drove to a Motel 6. My phone lit up, Dana's texts, calls, voicemails. "I'm sorry." It was nothing. "Don't do this." I didn't reply. I called my lawyer, Tom Bradley, 52, a guy I'd known since high school. "Start the divorce," I said. He didn't ask questions. "Got it, Landon." "Stay calm." I hung up, staring at the motel ceiling, the hum of the AC drowning out my thoughts. Dana's lies. Terry's smirk, they'd torn my life apart. But I wasn't broken. Not yet. Next morning, I checked the cameras remotely. Footage showed Terry's car parked down the street days before. Not a one-time thing. I saved the clip, sent them to Tom. Then I checked our bank account. More withdrawals, $1,000, $700, all cash, all recent. Dana's retreat excuse didn't hold. I froze, the account opened a new one, moved my paycheck. No more blind trust. At work, I kept my head down. My crew guys like Pete Larson, 50, a pipe fitter with a bad knee, noticed. "You okay, boss?" Pete asked. I shrugged. Rough week. He didn't push. That night, I met my sister Jenna, 44, at a diner. She was a nurse, tough but kind. I told her everything. Her eyes blazed. "She's scum, Landon. Get out clean." I nodded, sipping coffee, the mug warm in my hands. Working on it. A week later, Dana was released, charged with filing a false report. She showed up at my motel, banging on the door. "Landon, please," she cried. I opened it, arms crossed. "Go home, Dana." Her face crumpled. "I love you. It was a mistake." I laughed, bitter. "Mistake? You called the cops on me." She grabbed my arm. "I was scared." I pulled away. "You should be. We're done." I shut the door, her sobs muffled. Tom called the next day. "Dana's fighting the divorce. Wants alimony." My jaw tightened. "She cheated, lied, and cost me my home." Tom's voice was grim. "She's claiming emotional distress. We need more." I thought of the cameras, the bank records. "I'll get it," I said. That night I got an email, anonymized, no sender. A photo attachment. Dana and Terry at a bar, her hand on his thigh, dated 2 months ago. My chest burned. Someone was watching. Friend or foe, I didn't know. But this revenge story was just beginning, and I was ready to play. The anonymous photo burned in my mind, Dana's hand on Terry Corman's thigh. Their laughter frozen in a bar's neon glow 2 months before I caught them in our bed. My motel room's dim light flickered, the AC rattling like my thoughts. I wasn't just betrayed. I was played, and our savings funded it. I forwarded the photo to Tom Bradley, my lawyer, with a note. "Add this to the divorce." My coffee went cold as I stared at the ceiling. Dana's lies had gutted me, but I wasn't down. I was building a case brick by brick, and this revenge story was far from over. Monday, I drove to the job site, Columbus's Skyline, jagged against a steel-gray dawn. My crew was rigging ductwork for a new office tower, and I buried myself in work, checking specs, yelling at a rookie for a sloppy weld. Pete Larson, my pipe fitter, 50, clapped my shoulder. "You good, boss?" "Look like you ain't slept." I forced a grin, tightening a bolt. "Long nights, Pete." He didn't push, just handed me a thermos of coffee. "Solid guy." My phone buzzed, Dana's name, another voicemail. "Landon, please, I'm begging you. Talk to me." I deleted it, my jaw tight. Begging didn't erase her calling the cops on me. Didn't erase Terry's smirk as he slipped out our back door. At lunch, I checked our old joint account from my truck. The cash withdrawals, $3,200 over 4 months, clustered around ATMs near Terry's real estate office downtown. I mapped them. 3 banks, all within a mile of his glass-fronted building. Dana wasn't just cheating. She was bankrolling something. I called Tom. "Can we trace her cash?" He sighed. "Cash is a black hole, Landon, but the pattern's damning. I'll subpoena the bank records. Her false report charge gives us leverage. I hung up the steering wheel cold under my hands. Leverage was good, but I needed truth. The first twist hit that afternoon. My sister Jenna, 44, texted, "Diner now. Found something." I met her at our usual spot, the air thick with fry grease and Johnny Cash on the jukebox. Jenna, still in her nurse's scrubs, looked ready to punch someone. She slid a crumpled receipt across the table. "From Dana's yoga studio," she said. Her bag was open. Dumb move. I unfolded it, a $1,500 charge for a men's Rolex dated 6 weeks ago. My gut twisted. Dana hadn't bought me a watch. "Terry," I said, voice low. Jenna's eyes flashed. "Who else? She's spending your money on that sleaze." I pocketed the receipt, my pulse hammering. "Thanks, Jen." She leaned in. "Burn her, Landon. She doesn't deserve you." I nodded, the paper heavy in my jacket. Back at the motel, I dug into the security footage again, pulling clips from the weeks before I caught them. Terry's black BMW showed up 4 times near our house, always after 10 p.m. Not a one-off. I saved the frames, emailed them to Tom. Then I cracked into Dana's yoga website using an old admin password she hadn't changed. Her client list listed Terry, but his payments were 0. Business partner, she'd called him. A lie. I screenshot the records, added them to the growing file. Tuesday brought the second twist. Tom called, his voice clipped. "Dana's lawyer wants mediation. She'll drop alimony if you drop the false report charge." I laughed sharp. "She lied to the cops, Tom." "No way." He paused. "She's claiming you were distant, pushed her to Terry. Emotional neglect." My blood boiled. Distant? I worked 60-hour weeks for our life. Tom stayed calm. "We've got the footage, the withdrawals. She's desperate. But Landon, we need more to bury her narrative." I gripped the phone. "I'll get it." That night I met Nate Harper, 48, at a dive bar, the kind with sticky floors and neon Budweiser signs. Nate, a private investigator and ex-cop, was my ace. I slid him a whiskey and the bar photo of Dana and Terry. "Need dirt on Terry Corman," I said. Nate studied the photo, eyebrow raised. "This the guy?" I nodded. "Yeah." Deep dive Nate. "Everything." He tucked the photo away. "You sure you're ready for what I find?" I met his eyes steady. "I need to know." He nodded, sipping his drink. 3 days. Stay frosty, Landon. Wednesday, Dana pulled a stunt. She showed up at the job site, her SUV parked by the equipment trailers, drawing stares from my crew. I was inspecting a chiller unit when Pete nudged me. "Your wife's out there, boss." I wiped sweat from my brow, walked over. Dana leaned against her car, arms crossed, eyes puffy. "Landon, we need to talk." I kept my distance. "So talk." She stepped closer, voice low. "I screwed up. Terry was a mistake. I'll do anything, counseling, whatever you want." I stared unmoved. "You spent our savings on him, Dana. You called the cops on me." Her lip trembled. "I was scared, okay? I love you." I shook my head. "You love my bank account." I turned back to the site, her car peeling out behind me. The third twist landed Thursday. Nate met me at a coffee shop away from prying eyes. He slid a manila envelope across. "Terry Corman's a piece of work," he said. "Married 16 years to Claire Corman, 46, heiress to a lumber fortune. Lives in a gated community, Dublin, Ohio. No kids, but Terry's got side hustles. 3 other women past 5 years, all fed the same invest in my projects line." I flipped through the file. Photos of Terry with Dana at a hotel. Receipts for dinners, a $2,000 wire transfer to Dana's PayPal. My stomach churned. "Claire, no?" I asked. Nate shook his head. "Not yet, but she's sharp. Won't stay clueless long." I nodded, mind racing. "Anything else?" Nate leaned in. "Terry's firm's underwater, $5 million in debt. He's using Dana to float cash." I cursed under my breath. Dana wasn't just a cheater. She was a mark. Friday, I sent Nate's file to Tom. "Terry's married, scamming Dana," I said. Tom whistled. "This kills her neglect defense. I'll file it with the court." I hung up, staring at the motel's peeling wallpaper. The anonymous email still gnawed at me. I tried tracing it again, VPN, no dice. Whoever sent it was a ghost, but they were on my side. For now. The fourth twist hit Saturday. Officer Ruiz, the cop who'd seen my footage, called. "Mr. Vickers, we've got a second false report from your wife." I frowned. "Second," she explained. "Last month, Dana reported her car stolen, parked near Corman's office. Said it was taken from her studio. But the tow company has her signature on the release form." My jaw tightened. She lied again. Ruiz's voice was flat. "Yep. We're charging her 2 counts of false reporting plus perjury." I thanked her, my head spinning. Dana wasn't just reckless, she was digging her own grave. That night, Jenna called. "Found something else," she said. Dana's studio back office. She'd slipped in posing as a client and spotted a locked drawer. "Got it open," she said. "Burner phone texts from Terry. I met her at a park dusk, settling. She handed me the phone passcode already cracked. Messages dated back 6 months. Terry. Leave Landon. I'll set you up, Dana. Soon. He's clueless. My throat burned. One text from 3 weeks ago hit like a fist. After the divorce, we're free. No more sneaking. I handed the phone to Jenna. Tom needs this. She nodded, eyes fierce. She's done Landon. Monday. Tom called. Court date set. Dana's pleading not guilty, but the burner's a game changer. Her lawyer's sweating. I exhaled. Terry. Tom's voice darkened. His wife's been served divorce papers. Names Dana as the other woman. I smirked grim. Karma. But the anonymous sender still bugged me. I checked Dana's email using her old login. A goldmine messages to Terry plans to start over post-divorce. One email from her coworker Sarah Klein, 35, stood out. You're playing with fire, Dana. Landon's a good man. Sarah. The ghost. I saved it, my pulse quickening. The fifth twist came Tuesday. An envelope arrived at the motel, no return address. Inside a USB and a note. End her lies. I plugged it in. Audio Dana's voice laughing with a woman. Landon's boring, she said. Terry's my way out. The woman. What about Claire? Dana. She's clueless. My blood ran cold. Claire Corman, Terry's wife. I sent the USB to Tom, copied Nate. The sender was close, too close. Wednesday I tailed Terry, my truck parked a block from his office. He stepped out, Dana at his side. Her arm looped through his. They laughed oblivious until a woman stormed up Claire 46's face like thunder. She slapped Terry hard, screaming, "You and your slut." Dana ran Claire chasing. I stayed put, rain drumming the windshield. The board was flipping. Thursday, Nate called. Claire's got a PI. She's got Dana's text, hotel receipts, the works. I leaned back, the motel's neon sign buzzing outside. She's going after her. Nate chuckled. Like a shark. I nodded, a grim satisfaction settling. Dana thought she could outsmart everyone. She didn't see Claire. Friday, Tom texted. Dana's offering a plea, 6 months probation, no jail. I didn't respond. Let her twist. That night, another anonymous email. Her studio's inbox. I logged in. Messages from Sarah Klein warning Dana to stop. Sarah was my ally, maybe my ghost. I saved everything. This revenge story was a chess game and I was 3 moves ahead. I sat in my truck, rain hammering the windshield, the anonymous USB's audio looping in my head. Dana's laugh, her voice mocking me, planning her escape with Terry Corman. The burner phone. The hotel receipts, Sarah Klein's warnings, every piece tightened the noose. Dana thought she could lie her way out, but Claire Corman's slap in that cafe parking lot was just the start. My motel room felt like a cage, the neon sign buzzing outside. I poured a coffee, black and bitter, and opened my laptop. Tom Bradley, my lawyer, had the USB, the burner, everything. Court was days away and Dana's false report charges were stacking up. But I wasn't done. This revenge story needed an ending, and I'd write it myself. Monday morning, I walked into the job site, Columbus's Skyline, shrouded in mist. My crew was wrapping the office tower's HVAC install, and I moved like a machine, checking vents, signing off on deliveries. Pete Larson, my pipe fitter, eyed me. You holding up, boss? I nodded, voice flat. Yeah, Pete. Just another day. He didn't buy it, but he let it go. My phone buzzed. Tom. Dana's team's pushing for a plea, he said. Probation, no jail if you agree to mediation. I snorted. She called the cops on me, Tom. Twice. No deal. He chuckled. Thought you'd say that. Her lawyer's nervous. The burner phone's killing them. I hung up, my jaw tight. Nervous was good. Scared was better. The first twist hit at noon. Nate Harper, my PI buddy, called. Got a lead on your ghost, he said. The anonymous emails. Traced the VPN to a coffee shop near Dana's studio. Security footage shows Sarah Klein there same time the last email was sent. My pulse spiked. Sarah, Dana's coworker who'd warned her to stop. You sure? I asked. Nate's voice was grim. 90%. She's got motive. Dana's been bad-mouthing her at the studio, trying to get her fired. I leaned back, rain tapping the truck's roof. Sarah wasn't just an ally, she was a player. Find her, I said. I need to talk. Nate grunted. On it. That afternoon, I checked Dana's email again using her old login. A new message from Terry. Lay low. Claire's got a PI. We'll figure this out. My lips twitched. Figure it out. Claire was a freight train and Dana was tied to the tracks. I forwarded it to Tom, then dug into the studio's inbox. Sarah's emails to Dana were sharp. You're reckless. Landon's a good guy. Stop before you lose everything. Sarah knew the whole game. I saved the thread, my mind racing. If she was the ghost, she had more to share. Tuesday brought the second twist. Officer Ruiz called, her voice all business. Mr. Vickers, we've got a third charge against your wife. My brow furrowed. Third, she explained. Dana filed a restraining order last week claiming you harassed her at her studio. But her own security footage shows you never went near the place. My blood boiled. Another lie. Ruiz sighed. Yeah. Judge tossed the order, added obstruction of justice to her charges. She's drowning. I thanked her, my fists clenched. Dana wasn't just desperate. She was reckless, piling lies on lies. That night I met Nate at a dive bar, the air thick with cigarette smoke and Merle Haggard. He slid me a photo, Sarah Klein 35 at the coffee shop, laptop open, timestamp matching the anonymous email. "She's your ghost," Nate said. "Want me to approach her?" I shook my head. "I'll do it." "Where's she work?" Nate handed me an address, a yoga studio across town, not Dana's. "She quit Dana's place last month," he said. "Bad blood." I nodded, pocketing the photo. Sarah was my next move. Wednesday, I drove to Sarah's studio, a small storefront with bamboo floors and lavender candles. She was at the front desk, blonde hair pulled back, eyes wary when I walked in. "Sarah Klein?" I asked. She nodded, tense. "Landon Vickers. We need to talk." Her face paled, but she gestured to a back room. 5 minutes, she said. Inside, I cut to it. "You sent the emails?" "The USB." She didn't flinch. "Yeah, Dana's a liar. She was ruining you, and I couldn't watch." I leaned in. "Why help me?" Her eyes hardened. "She tried to get me fired, spread rumors I was stealing. I knew about Terry. Someone had to stop her." I nodded, respecting her steel. "Got anything else?" She hesitated, then handed me a flash drive. "Her studio's books. She's been funneling cash to Terry off the record." My pulse spiked. "Thanks, Sarah." She shrugged. "Just do right by it." I sent the flash drive to Tom. He called an hour later, voice electric. "This is Dynamite Landon. Dana's been laundering money through her retreat scam, $10,000 to Terry's accounts. It's fraud on top of everything else." I exhaled, the weight shifting. "What's next?" Tom's tone was fierce. "Court's tomorrow." "She's toast." I hung up, staring at the motel's cracked mirror. Fraud. Dana wasn't just a cheater, she was a criminal. The third twist hit Thursday, court day. I sat in the gallery suit, pressed Tom at my side. Dana walked in pale, her lawyer whispering furiously. The judge, a gray-haired woman with a no-nonsense stare, read the charges. 2 counts of false reporting, perjury, obstruction, and now fraud. Dana's lawyer tried to spin it emotional distress, a troubled marriage. Tom countered with the footage, the burner phone, Sarah's flash drive. The judge wasn't buying Dana's tears. "Plea deal's off," she said. "Trial set for next month." Dana's eyes met mine, pleading. I looked away, stone cold. Outside, Tom clapped my shoulder. "She's facing jail, Landon. Divorce is a lock, no alimony, clean split." I nodded, but my gut churned. Jail was justice, but it didn't erase the years I trusted her. As I walked to my truck, a woman approached, Claire Cormanteri's wife, her face sharp with rage. "You're Landon," she said, no question. I nodded. "Yeah." She crossed her arms. "I'm suing Dana. Adultery, emotional damages." "You in?" I studied her, saw the same fire I felt. "Send the papers to my lawyer," I said. She smirked. "Done." The fourth twist came Friday. Nate texted. "Terry's skipping town. I met him at a diner, his folder thick with new dirt. Corman's liquidating assets," he said. "Bought a one-way to Costa Rica, leaves tomorrow." My jaw tightened. "Claire, no." Nate nodded. She tipped me off. "Her PI's got his bank records, $500,000 moved offshore." I cursed. Terry was running, leaving Dana to burn. I called Tom. "Can we stop him?" Tom's voice was grim. "Not my wheelhouse, but Claire's lawyer's on it. She's filing an emergency injunction." I hung up the diner's coffee, bitter in my mouth. Terry thought he could vanish. Not on my watch. Saturday, I got a call from Sarah. "Check the news," she said, voice tight. I pulled up a local station. "Columbus developer detained at airport in fraud probe." Terry's face flashed, cuffed eyes wide. The anchor cited whistleblower evidence linking him to Dana's money laundering. My evidence. Sarah's? Claire's. I leaned back, a grim satisfaction settling. Terry wasn't running anymore. The fifth twist hit Sunday. An anonymous package arrived at the motel. A letter typed, no signature. "Dana's not done lying," it read. Inside, a printout of text between Dana and her lawyer, intercepted somehow. "Plead insanity," the lawyer wrote. "It's your only shot," Dana replied. "I'll say Landon drove me to it. He was controlling." My blood ran cold. Controlling. I'd given her everything. I sent the printout to Tom, who laughed sharp. "This is gold. She's digging her own grave." I nodded, but the lie stung. Dana wasn't just fighting for freedom. She was rewriting our marriage to save her skin. Monday, I met Claire at a coffee shop, her lawyer at her side. "Terry's assets are frozen," she said, voice like ice. "Dana's named in my suit. She's broke, no studio, no retreat." I nodded, sipping my coffee. "She deserve it." Claire's eyes met mine, unflinching. "She chose him. You didn't choose this." I leaned back, the words sinking in. Claire wasn't just angry, she was righteous like me. The sixth twist came Tuesday. Jenna called frantic. "Landon, Dana's at Mom's house." Our mom, Ellen 70, lived in a condo across town, frail but fierce. I sped over, heart pounding. Dana was on the porch crying, Mom, stone-faced. "She wants forgiveness," Mom said, voice flat. I faced Dana, her mascara streaked. "Landon, I'm losing everything," she sobbed. "Help me." I crossed my arms. You helped yourself to Terry. You lied, stole, framed me. She grabbed my sleeve. I love you. I pulled away. You loved my money. Mom stepped in. Leave Dana. Now. Dana fled, her car screeching. Mom hugged me tight. You're enough, Landon. I nodded, throat tight. The trial hit like a storm. Dana pled guilty to lesser charges, 6 months jail, 3 years probation, $50,000 fine. The studio shut down, her yoga license revoked. Claire's suit cleaned her out. Terry faced fraud charges, his empire dust. I got the house sold, it bought a condo cash. No debt, no Dana. I started seeing Sarah not a romance, just coffee laughs. She'd been through her own hell, understood mine. I stood on my balcony, Columbus's lights flickering below. Dana was gone, Terry caged, but the scars lingered. Had I gone too far, pushing for every charge, every dime? Or was it justice for a life she torched? I don't know. Maybe you do. Should I have shown mercy, let Dana walk with a shred of dignity? Or did she earn every second of her fall? Like what you heard. Hit that like button. Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to Revenge with Jack, because the next story might just be your favorite one yet. Boss fired me in Boise for being outdated, stole my $48 million deals, and then my boss fired me for being stuck in the past. Then my client's 60% of the firm's revenue started walking. I wasn't the one stuck. If this story moved you, don't forget to drop a comment, and subscribe to Revenge with Jack for more unforgettable stories that speak to the heart. I'm Reese Carver, 49, the guy who's kept a Boise publishing firm's heart pumping for 18 years. As VP of sales, I didn't just close deals, I built bonds. My team's handshake deals and face-to-face meetings drove $48 million of the company's $80 million revenue last year. My safety net. Relationships. No CRMs, no spam emails, just trust, grit, and a bourbon shared over a contract. Life was steady. A brick ranch in the North End. A 71 Dodge Charger in the garage, and Sundays fishing with my brother Caleb on the Boise River. No wife, no kids, just my work, my word, and a legacy I'd carved. Our latest push, a regional book distribution deal, was my crown. 15% growth, 0 client churn, and a network that could weather any storm. I wasn't a mogul, but I was proud. My clients were my blood. Until Zane Fenwick decided to spill it. Zane, 52, swept in as CEO in November 2025, a tech bro from a floundering Denver startup. Crisp suits, sharper ego with a smile that screamed control. The board hailed him as a digital savior, but I saw a vulture. Our first clash was raw. Reese, he said, sprawled in his sleek office, the Boise skyline glinting behind him. Your sales are gold, but your methods are Jurassic. We're going digital. I pushed back, calm but firm. My relationships cut churn by 90%, saved $3 million in marketing. Numbers spoke. He waved me off, his cufflinks flashing. Trust isn't profit, Carver. That was the first cut. I didn't see the axe. 2 weeks later, I'm in the field, the morning air sharp, meeting a client, Porter & Sons Press. My lead rep, Elena Harper, pulls me aside. Reese, check this. She shows me Zane's new CRM rollout, mandatory, no exceptions. It's clunky, forcing reps to log every call, alienating clients who value personal touch. My gut twists. This won't fly. I email Zane citing client feedback. His reply's cold. Adapt or lag. Adapt. I've seen deals die for less. I loop in the sales coordinator, Tessa Wade, 36, a strategist with a poet's fire and eyes that see through lies. This is lunacy, she says, backing me. We draft a client survey, send it to the board, and push for a hybrid model. Silence. That night I'm at home, a steak sizzling, the Boise skyline flickering through the dusk. Zane's dodge isn't a glitch, it's a play. Next morning I'm back pitching a client when Tessa flags me. They're swapping our contracts. Digital first terms, no negotiation. My jaw clenches. This isn't progress, it's sabotage. I grab my laptop log. 18 client complaints, delayed responses, botched orders, now this. I file a formal report to the board, my fingers steady but my pulse racing. Zane calls me in by noon, his office sterile, the air heavy. Reese, you're stirring chaos. He says, his voice smooth as venom, leaning back in his leather chair. We're modernizing, not stalling. I meet his stare, unflinching. Your CRM's losing clients. He leans forward, eyes hard as flint. You're too traditional, Carver. The air crackles, his smirk a knife. I walk out, my boots heavy on the polished floor, the weight of my team on my shoulders. Friday night, I'm at the Timberline, our team's dive bar. The jukebox humming low. The vibe's sour. Tessa's sipping a lager, Elena's scrolling her phone, her dark curls catching the neon light. Zane's boxing us out, Tessa mutters. Board swallowing his pitch. I slam my glass down, bourbon sloshing. Then we make them choke on it. Doubt creeps in, though. Zane's not just sidelining me, he's erasing me. My phone buzzes, a text from an unknown number. Check Zane's laptop. Sales office tomorrow, 4. Metal. My pulse spikes the bar's dim light, casting shadows. A tip, a trap. I show Tessa. Could be real, she says. Elena's skeptical, leaning in her perfume sharp. Or Fenwick's baiting you. I don't sleep. The text, a live wire in my brain, the Boise night pressing against my windows. Saturday, I'm at the office at 3:45, heart pounding like I'm breaking into a vault. The sales floor is dark, but Zane's laptop's glowing. I use an old team code, call it a habit from hungrier days. I pull up his files and find my client contracts rebranded as his digital pivot pitched to investors for a $25 million deal. My blood boils, the screen's glare burning my eyes. But there's more. Emails with his Denver pal, Miles Fenwick, Apex Media's COO. Carver's a liability. Neutralize him, Zane writes. My fists clench. Neutralize. I've carried this firm for decades. I copy the files to a USB, hand steady but rage coiling like a spring. Back home, I'm pacing the USB, a live grenade in my pocket. Caleb's over his contractor's grit, reading my mood. Reese, you're a storm, he says, tossing me a beer, his flannel sleeves rolled up. I want to spill Zane the CRM, the theft. But his kids are playing in the yard, their laughter filtering through the window. I choke it back. Work bullshit. I mutter, the bottle cold in my hand. He claps my shoulder fierce. You don't fight alone, man. His words hit, but the storm doesn't quit. I dive into Zane's emails, finding a thread with Miles. Carver's report could tank the deal. Bury him. Bury. The word chills me, the Boise skyline, a silent witness through my window. This is war. Monday, I'm playing the good soldier, but Zane's escalating. He calls a team meeting, all charm, his boots gleaming under the office lights. Folks, we're fast-tracking digital. Trust the vision. My reps look to me, their eyes searching for a signal. I stay stone-faced, my jaw tight. After Zane corners me near the elevators, his voice low. Reese, I need your buy-in. No stunts. His tone silk, his eyes daggers. I nod cold. Whatever you say, Zane. He misses the edge in my voice. Mistake. That afternoon, Elena pulls me into the break room, her perfume cutting through the coffee scent, her voice urgent. Reese, I've got something. She hands me a second USB client, emails, contracts, my deals embedded in Zane's investor decks. He's been lifting your work for weeks, she says. Her eyes blazing, her hand brushing mine as she passes the drive. My blood runs hot. My deals. Stolen. Why now? I ask, my voice low. She leans in close, her breath warm. Because I'm done watching you bleed. The air shifts electric, but I pull back, gripping the USB. This fight's about justice, not heat. Tuesday, my office badge fails. Security's waiting, new guy Derek with an HR letter signed by Zane. Termination effective immediately. Failure to adapt. My vision blurs, the paper trembling in my hand. Adapt. I built this firm's revenue. I don't argue. I walk head high, but my gut's ablaze. In my Charger, the engine rumbling, I call Tessa. She's in the field, says Zane, spinning lies about sales failures tied to me. Failures. My team was bulletproof. I drive to a diner, the neon sign buzzing, and open my laptop. I've got emails, logs, everything. Then I find it an email from Zane to Miles sent last night. Carver's gone. Push the deal. My blood boils, the diner's coffee turning bitter. He didn't just fire me, he's burying me. Wednesday dawn. The anonymous text check Zane's laptop is a blade in my chest. I'm Reese Carver, 49, fired from the Boise publishing firm I carried for 18 years. My client deal stolen by Zane Fenwick, the CEO, who called me outdated. Elena's USB loaded with proof of his theft burns in my pocket, but it's not enough. Zane's not just erasing my work, he's torching my name. My North End house is a bunker, the Boise skyline a cold witness through the morning haze. This fight isn't about my job, it's about my truth, and I'm ripping it back. I'm up before the light, coffee black as tar, diving into Zane's digital shadow. Using a backdoor code from my gritty startup days, I crack his cloud drive. His emails with Miles Fenwick, Apex Media's COO, are brazen. Carver's out. His contracts are ours. Close the deal in 10 days. My blood boils. My deals, my life's work rebranded for Apex's crumbling empire. I dig deeper, finding a wire transfer, $1. $8 million from Apex to a Boise account under Zane's alias, Caleb Ward. A kickback reckless and damning. I encrypt it, stashing the drive in my toolbox, hands steady but my gut ablaze. Zane's not a thief, he's a criminal. At 6 I call Tessa Wade, my sales coordinator. She's in the field, dodging Apex reps, mangling my client relationships. Reese, it's chaos, she says, voice low. Clients are bailing, deals are tanking. My contract's $48 million in revenue gutted by amateurs. What about Elena? I ask. Tessa pauses. Harper's gone. Said it's family. Elena Harper, my lead rep, who'd charm a client in a storm, ghosting us. My instincts scream betrayal. Watch her, I say. And Zane. Tessa grunts. Done. I hit the firm's client logs, hunting Zane's tracks. Their fake consulting fees to Apex buried as marketing costs tied to Elena's login. My chest tightens. Elena. My right hand. I text her. Meet me. Now. No reply. My mind churns. Zane's turned my team against me. I pull up the server logs, finding tampered client data timestamped to Elena's late-night sessions. He's planting failures to pin on me. This is a revenge story, and I'm the target. Noon, I'm at a dive bar off Fairview meeting Cole Ramsey, 50, a private investigator with a nose for corporate rot. He slides in eyes sharp as steel. Reese, Zane's got a fixer, Silas Holt, ex-corporate muscle. He's sending your texts. My pulse spikes. The tip, the frame job, a machine. Cole hands me a flash drive. Holt's client logs. Zane's paying him to paint you as a saboteur. I pocket it, jaw clenched. Holt's angle. Cole leans in, voice low. He's forging invoices, $1. 2 million fraud, all pointing to you. I nod, the game clear. Zane's not just stealing my deals, he's stealing my life. Back at my house, Caleb's there, his contractor's grit reading my mood. Reese, you're a damn hurricane, he says, cracking a beer. His work boots scuffed. I want to unload Zane, Elena the fixer, but his kids are outside, their laughter cutting through the Boise dusk. I choke it back. Work crap, I mutter, the bottle cold in my hand. He grabs my arm fierce. You don't fight alone, brother. His words hit, but the war's in my head. I hack Apex's server, old skills razor sharp, and find a jackpot. My client contract's rebranded as Apex Connect, set for a $30 million rollout. Worse, there's a dossier. My morning runs, Caleb's job sites, my charger's plates. My blood runs cold. Zane's not just after my job, he's hunting my life. I'm about to call Tessa when Elena texts. Reese, I screwed up. Meet me at the old print warehouse, 6 p.m. No details, just desperation. My gut screams trap, but Elena's family. I grab my keys and roll. The warehouse is a relic, rusted presses, ink-stained floors, Boise's ghosts fading under the sunset. Elena's waiting, pale hands jammed in her jacket. Zane got to me, she admits, voice raw. Offered to fund my dad's medical bills if I tweaked your data. My fists clench. Elena, my partner, sold me out. Why? I snarl, stepping closer. She meets my gaze, broken. I was drowning Reese, but I held back the worst. Her breath catches the air, heavy. What's his next move? I demand, voice ice. She swallows. He's meeting Apex tomorrow night, sealing the deal. Private club, the Silver Oak. I nod, rage coiling. You're with me or you're done. She nods, tears falling, her eyes pleading. Trust shattered, but I need her brain. Friday morning, I'm at a diner, the coffee stale, plotting. Caleb texts. Found dirt. Zane's dodging taxes buddy at the city, saw his filings. My brother, the silent warrior, digging for me. I call Cole. Need a way into the Silver Oak, I say. He laughs sharp. Got a guy, ex-bouncer, hates rich assholes. You're in. I'm not crashing Zane's deal, I'm burning it down. I hack the Silver Oak's network cameras, Wi-Fi guest lists. It's locked tight, but I've cracked worse. Zane's emails reveal more. Carver's report could tank the deal. Bury him before the rollout. Bury. The word sears the diner's neon, buzzing in my ears. That afternoon, Tessa calls. Reese, your USB's solid. Apex is losing clients, bad data. Why's Zane pushing it? I take a gamble. He's cashing out. Check Caleb Ward's account. She's silent then. We're auditing Apex. Stay sharp. Adrenaline surges. The board's waking up, but Zane's not asleep. My phone pings anonymous text. Carver, we know your brother's fishing spots. Back off. My breath catches. Caleb. Holt's hitting my family, the Boise Skyline, a silent witness through the diner's window. Friday night. I'm outside the Silver Oak, Boise's elite playground, all chrome and shadows. Cole's guy slips me past the doorman, my borrowed jacket tight. Inside, it's velvet and bourbon Zane at a corner table with Miles Fenwick and 2 Apex suits laughing like gods. My blood simmers, but I stay icy, sliding into a booth. I've got a burner phone with Elena's app, a data sniffer to grab their files. I text Tessa, parked a block away, with a jammer. Go. Their Wi-Fi crashes, forcing them to my rigged hotspot. Emails, contracts, rollout plans. Everything flows to me, the club's low hum masking my pulse. The first twist hits like a collapsing press. A hand grips my arm. I spin, expecting security, but it's Elena, eyes blazing, no trace of last night's wreck. Reese, I'm all in, she whispers, her breath warm. Zane threatened my dad's life. I'm done. Before I can reply, Zane clocks us. His face shifts, shock, then fury. He strides over Miles, trailing his boots, clicking on the polished floor. Carver, he sneers, you're a ghost. I stand, locking eyes. You stole my deal, Zane. You're done. Elena's at my side, unyielding, her presence a spark. The air crackles, the club's elite watching their drinks forgotten. The second twist lands like a sledgehammer. A woman steps forward, Lila Brooks, 47. Our CFO holding a tablet, her heels sharp against the floor. Zane's not just stealing, she says, voice like a blade. He's laundering money through Apex. She swipes, showing bank records, Caleb Ward, $8 million funneled offshore. My jaw drops. Lila, here. Her eyes meet mine, fierce. You didn't think I'd let him gut us, did you? I forgot Lila's got Boise's finance world on a leash. She's not just my colleague, she's my ace. Zane's pale stammering. Lies. Miles bolts, but security's closing in, not for us. Lila signaled a state auditor waiting outside the club's lights glinting off her tablet. Chaos erupts. Zane lunges for the tablet, but Elena blocks him, swift her shoulder brushing mine. The auditor steps in, badge gleaming. Zane Fenwick, you're coming with us. The club empties, whispers trailing like smoke. I'm left with Elena and Lila, my pulse a drum. Lila saved me, but Elena's eyes are cold. You didn't trust me, Reese, she says, voice low, her perfume lingering. We're not square. She walks out, her silhouette fading into the Boise night. Lila grips my arm. We got him! But victory tastes like dust. Saturday, I'm at my house, the silence suffocating. Tessa calls. Zane's suspended apex is done. We're auditing his accounts. You're cleared, Reese. We want you back. I nod, but my mind's on Elena. I shut her out, fought alone, and it cost us. I drive to her apartment where she's reviewing client files, her face guarded. I'm sorry, I start, my voice rough. She cuts me off. You didn't see me, Reese. Not really. I don't argue, she's right. Tell me how to fix it, I say, stepping closer. Her eyes soften just a sliver. Start by showing up. We talk jagged raw, no guarantees. It's a spark, not a flame, the Boise skyline flickering outside her window. Sunday, I'm chasing Holt's trail. Cole's Drive has a lead. Payments to a local blogger prepping a smear piece on me. Holt's still out there, a predator. My phone buzzes, Tessa. Elena's back, but she's rattled. Found more stolen contracts in Apex's pipeline. I grit my teeth. Zane's gone, but his machine's grinding. I hack deeper, finding a Blackthorn email. Carver's brother is leverage. Hit harder! My blood runs cold. Caleb's not just a bystander, he's a target. Monday, I'm on site rebuilding my team. Tessa's rock-solid, Elena's proving herself, her client calls flawless. But her distance stings. I text her. Dinner. Us. She replies. Maybe. It's not a yes, but it's hope. I'm not just fighting for my deals. I'm fighting for trust, for family, for the man I want to be. The third twist lands that evening. I'm at the Timberline whiskey burning my throat when Tessa bursts in. Reese, Elena found something. She hands me a tablet. Apex's internal memo dated yesterday, outlining a backup plan to relaunch my contracts under a shell company, Pinnacle Ventures. Zane's name is absent, but Miles Fenwick is listed as CEO. My jaw tightens. Zane's out, but his cousin's keeping the scam alive. I call Elena. You okay? She's steady but tense. I'm fine. But Pinnacle's using your work, Reese. They're not done. I lean back, the bar's neon casting shadows. Then we're not either. Tuesday, I meet Cole at a park, the Boise River glinting nearby. Pinnacle's a front, he says, handing me another drive. Holt's running their data. He's got to mole someone close. My stomach drops. Close. I trust Tessa Lila, but Elena. Her guilt, her absence, it gnaws at me. Find the mole, I say. Cole nods grim. Watch your back, Reese. Holt's a phantom. Wednesday, I'm on site, cross-referencing Pinnacle's contracts. I find a thread. Pinnacle's funding traces to a Boise VC Horizon Capital, where Owen Tate's sister is a partner. My breath catches. Owen, the board member who backed my report. The fourth twist cuts deep. He's not just neutral, he's complicit. I save the evidence, my hands shaking, the office's hum fading. This isn't just Zane, it's a syndicate. Thursday, I confront Elena at her apartment, door locked. You holding back? I ask, voice low. Her eyes flash wounded. You think I'm the mole? She pulls up her laptop, showing emails she intercepted Holt's orders to an unknown insider, not her. I'm fighting for you, Reese, she says, voice breaking, her hands trembling. But you keep shutting me out. My chest aches. I misjudged her again. I'm sorry, I mutter, stepping closer. She nods, but the rift lingers. We need to hit Pinnacle, she says, her voice steel. Hard. I agree, the fire reigniting, her eyes locking with mine. Friday, I meet a whistleblower from Horizon Capital, Clara Vance. 43, a compliance officer who smells a scam. She slides me a folder, Horizon's investments in Pinnacle, funneled through offshore accounts linked to Miles. Owen's neck-deep, Clara whispers, the park's wind rustling. He's betting on Apex's collapse to cash out. My mind races. Owen's a puppet master. I thank Clara, my resolve hardening. This fight's bigger than Zane, it's a network. Saturday, I hack Pinnacle's servers, finding my contracts in their beta. But there's a fifth twist. A hidden flaw in the client terms, not mine, set to tank deals under scrutiny. My heart sinks. Someone inside the firm planted it, and it's not Elena. I call Tessa. Check Lila's access logs. She hesitates. Lila. She's clean, Reese. I don't buy it. Check. Hours later, she calls back, voice grim. You're right. Lila's been logging in after hours, tweaking the terms. Lila, our CFO, the one who saved me at the Silver Oak. The betrayal burns like acid. Sunday, I confront Lila at her office door. Lock the Boise Skyline stark behind her. Why? I demand, tossing the logs on her desk. She doesn't flinch, her eyes cold. Zane offered me a cut, she says, voice flat. I took it. You're too honest, Reese. My fists clench. You sold us out. She leans in, her perfume sharp. Join Pinnacle. They'll pay. I laugh bitter, the tablet heavy in my hand. I'm not you. I walk out, her betrayal await, the city's lights flickering below. Monday morning. Tessa Wade's call, VP of Sales, reinstated full authority, hits like a lifeline, but Elena's words cut deeper. You keep shutting me out, Reese. Zane Fenwick's suspended, Apex Media's collapsing, and my client contracts are back, but I'm not cheering. My team's trust is cracked, my bond with Elena's frayed, and Silas Holt, Zane's fixer, is still out there. A shadow with venom. I'm Reese Carver, 49, and this fight's not over. It's a blaze I'm still fueling. I'm on site, the Boise Air Sharp, diving into Apex's wreckage. Tessa's at my side, her jaw tight as we rebuild my client network. Reese, we're holding, she says. Clients are back, but the CRM's shaky. My deal's $48 million in revenue, nearly gutted by sabotage. I nod, my focus split. Elena. Tessa shrugs. Harper's working, but she's guarded. Elena Harper, who tweaked my data for Zane, is on thin ice. I spot her across the office, her dark curls catching the fluorescent light, her laptop steady. One chance, I mutter. Tessa nods, but the heir's heavy loyalty's a ghost. By noon, I'm scouring the firm's financials, hunting Holt's tracks. Cole Ramsey texts. Holt's moving. Paid a Boise cop, Ethan Pike, to dig into your taxes. My pulse spikes. Taxes. Holt's scraping for dirt and Pike's a badge for hire. I hack Blackthorn Security's server again, finding a forged invoice in my name, $1. $5 million siphoned from the sales budget. Embezzlement. The frame's tightening, and Zane's emails are still active even from lockup. I save it, my gut churning. Zane's down, but his web's alive. That afternoon, Tessa calls me to the boardroom. Owen Tate's there with Harper Vance, the board's new skeptic. Tessa's all business. Reese, Apex is finished. Zane laundered millions through them. We're suing. I nod, but my eyes are on Owen. He's too quiet, his pen tapping. What's the rub? I ask. Tessa sighs. Zane's claiming you sabotaged the CRM, faked the evidence. He's out on bail and his lawyer's pushing a countersuit. The first twist hits like a snapped cable. Bail. After theft, laundering, the auditor bust. Harper leans in. Reese, we need your deals online. Take the role, or we're vulnerable. It's a deal with thorns. I don't flinch. I'm in. My team, my contracts, no strings. Tessa nods, relieved. Owen's eyes flicker doubt, or something darker. I'm not buying his neutrality. As I leave, my phone pings anonymous text. Carver, we've got your brother's job sites. Quit or they leak. My breath catches. Caleb, Holt's hitting my family. I delete it, but the threat festers like rust. Tuesday, I'm at my house briefing Caleb. He's in work boots, his contractor's calm, unshaken. I found more, he says, handing me a USB. It's a city auditor's memo, Caleb Ward dodging $9 million in taxes. My buddy at the tax office flagged it, he adds. My brother, my anchor, digging for me. My chest tightens. What's your play? He asks. I lean in, voice low. Hid his money. His offshore accounts are his spine. He nods fierce. Don't lose yourself, Reese. His words linger as I grip his shoulder, his strength my fuel. That night, I'm chasing Zane's offshore trail. Cole's intel points to a Cayman account layered through shell companies. I hack deeper, finding a ledger. $15 million from Apex to Zane, funneled via a Boise firm, Horizon Capital. The name stops me cold. Owen Tate's sister is Horizon's CFO. The second twist burns. Owen, the board's ally, is tied to Zane's cash. I save it, my blood simmering. This isn't just Zane, it's a syndicate. Wednesday, I confront Owen at his office door shut. Horizon Capital, I say, dropping the ledger. He pales, stammering. Reese, it's not I cut him off. You're profiting while Zane guts us. Flip or I go to Tessa. His eyes dart, but he nods cornered. What do you need? I lean in cold. Feed Zane's lawyer bad intel. Stall the countersuit. He agrees, sweating. I've got a mole, but it's a tightrope. Owen's no friend. Thursday hits like a storm. I'm on site rebuilding with Tessa and Elena. Elena's quiet, her guilt a shadow, but her client calls are razor sharp. I pull her aside, the office's hum fading. You solid? She meets my gaze raw. I'm here, Reese. I owe you. I nod, not forgiving, but accepting. The team's stabilizing client churned down 22% deals holding. But my phone buzzes Cole. Holt's escalating. Drafted a police report, your name on it. Fraud and sabotage. My heart races. The frame's closing. I call Caleb. Stay with Mom tonight, I say. Safe. His voice is steady. We've got this, brother. That afternoon, Tessa calls. Reese, your USB checks out. Apex is bleeding clients bad terms. Why's Zane pushing it? I take a risk. He's cashing out. Check Caleb Ward's account. She's silent then. We're auditing Horizon. Stay sharp. Adrenaline surges. The board's stirring, but Zane's not asleep. My phone pings anonymous text. Carver, we know your brother's fishing spots. Back off. My breath catches. Caleb. Holt's hitting my family again, the Boise Skyline, a silent witness through the office window. Friday the third twist lands. Tessa bursts into my office. Reese board's meeting. Emergency. Zane's here. Here. On bail disgraced, I storm to the boardroom where Zane stands, suit crisp lawyer smirking. Tessa's furious, Owen's tense, Harper's avoiding my gaze. Zane's voice is silk. Reese sabotaged the CRM, faked the evidence. I'm the victim. His lawyer slides a tablet screenshots of my server hacks twisted to look criminal. My stomach drops. They've got me spun into a crook. Tessa snaps. Reese explain. I don't waver. Zane's framing me to hide his laundering. Ask Owen about Horizon. Owen flinches caught. The room erupts, but Tessa slams the table. We're auditing Horizon. Now. I walk out head high, but my pulse is a drum. Zane's playing dirty, and he's good. I call Cole. They've got my hacks, I say. He curses. Holt's work. End this. He gives a lead. Zane's meeting Pinnacle tonight, a warehouse on Gowan Road. Crash it, Cole says. I'm all in. Friday night, I'm at the warehouse. Boise's night air thick with dust. Tessa's with me, Elena on lookout. Inside, Zane's with Miles Fenwick and a Pinnacle exec, voices low over contracts. I've got a recorder, Elena's docs, and a burner phone. The plan. Catch them dirty. But the fourth twist hits. A flashlight blinds me. Ethan Pike. The dirty cop badge gleaming. Carver hands up. My heart pounds, but I stay calm. Wrong side, Pike. He smirks. Zane pays better. Before I can move, Elena dives from the shadows, tackling Pike. Tessa grabs the badge. We're not fighters, but we're cornered. Zane's voice cuts through. Reese, you're nothing. He steps forward, unfazed. You can't stop me. I hold up the recorder streaming to Tessa's server. You stole my deals, laundered millions. You're done. His face twists, but Miles bolts, triggering alarms. Sirens wail, Elena's OSHA raid perfectly timed. Pike scrambles, but Tessa's got him pinned. Zane lunges, but I sidestep, 18 years of grit outmatching his polish. Checkmate, I say. He's cuffed as the raid sweeps in. Miles and the Pinnacle exec nabbed. Saturday, I'm home, the house quiet. Tessa calls. Zane's done. Horizon's under scrutiny. You're cleared, Reese. VP's yours. I nod, but my eyes are on Elena working at my table, her face soft but guarded. We need to talk, I say. She sets her laptop down, voice low. You fought for your deals, Reese. Now fight for us. We sit raw, unraveling years of distance. It's messy, no quick fixes, but it's real. Tessa texts. We good, I reply. Getting there. Caleb's safe, his hug fierce. The fifth twist comes Sunday. I'm on site digging into Pinnacle's contracts when Elena calls. Reese, it's Lila. Lila Brooks, our CFO, who turned on me. She's talking to the auditors claiming you approved the flawed terms. My blood runs cold. Lila's flipping the script, painting me as the mastermind. I meet Elena at a diner, her eyes blazing. She's lying, she says, showing Lila's emails to Holt, plotting to frame me. We need to expose her. I nod, the fight reigniting. Let's end it. Monday, I meet a new contact, Vince Harlow, 51, a former Apex rep who quit last year. Zane burned me too, he says, handing me a drive. Old Apex contracts, all with your deals tweaked to fail. Owen signed off. My pulse races. Vince is my wild card. Why help me? I ask. He smirks bitter. Because I want my name back too. I take the drive, the Boise River rushing nearby. The sixth twist hits. An email from Zane to Owen dated 8 months ago outlining a plan to digitize sales across Apex using my contracts as a template. Owen approved it knowing the risks. My stomach churns. Owen wasn't just complicit, he orchestrated it. Tuesday, I confront Lila at her condo, door locked. You framed me, I say, showing the emails. She laughs cold. You're too righteous, Reese. I had to slow you down. My fists clench. Why? She leans in, eyes sharp. Power. Pinnacle offered more than you ever could. I walk out, her betrayal await. I send the emails to the auditors sealing her fate. Weeks later, I'm VP, my contract's stronger, my team whole. Zane's facing trial. Owen's gone, Lila's under investigation. But I'm not crowing. I'm rebuilding deals, trust bonds. One night I'm at the Timberline, Elena beside me. A text. Nice play, Carver. Watch your back. No name, but it's Holt. My pulse spikes, but I shut my phone. Elena's hand finds mine. Build it strong or don't build at all, I say, my old creed. Did I fight too hard or not enough? Should I forgive Elena or let her go? Rebuild trust or walk away? Like what you heard, hit that like button. Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to Revenge with Jack because the next story might just be your favorite one yet. Wife cheated in Boise with my rival. Stole my $90 million deals, and then I caught my wife's perfume on my old colleague's jacket at a client dinner. Her phone pinged at his condo while she swore she was at book club. That wasn't the worst part, it was who she chose. If this story moved, you don't forget to drop a comment and subscribe to Revenge with Jack for more unforgettable stories that speak to the heart. I'm Dean Strickland, 48. The guy who's kept a Boise financial services firm's blood pumping for 22 years. As director of client relations, I don't just close deals, I forge bonds. My team's face-to-face meetings and bulletproof contracts raked in $90 million of the firm's $150 million revenue last year. No algorithms, no mass emails, just trust, grit, and a bourbon toasted over a signed portfolio. Life was rock solid, a sleek loft in Boise's North End cedar walls glowing under soft lights. A '66 Chevy Impala parked in the garage, its chrome glinting like a promise. And weekends casting lines with my brother Owen on the Snake River. The water's rush drowning out the world. My wife Lynette, 37, was my anchor, blonde curls bouncing when she laughed, green eyes that held mine like a vow. 10 years married, no kids, just us, our shared dreams, and a love I'd have bet my life on. My clients were my legacy, Lynette, my heart, until Royce Brennan ripped both to shreds. Royce, 50, was my old colleague from the firm's hungrier days now. A slick advisor at a rival outfit across town. Charcoal suits, sharper ambition with a grin that masked a predator. We'd parted ways years ago, no bad blood, or so I thought. Lately he'd been circling my clients, his name popping up at dinners, his handshake lingering too long. Last month at a black-tie gala downtown, he clapped my shoulder, his cologne heavy. Dean still running the show, he said, his eyes flicking to Lynette. She stood radiant in a sapphire dress, her laugh bright as she leaned into his joke, her hand grazing his arm. I brushed it off, networking, nothing more. But my gut twisted, the ballroom's chandeliers casting jagged shadows. Something wasn't right. 3 weeks later, I'm at the office, the morning air biting, locking down a $15 million portfolio for a retail chain. My lead analyst, Clara Vance, 34, a sharp mind with a skeptic's edge, flags me down. Dean, you need to see this. She slides me a tablet, $7 million in client assets, my accounts quietly shifted to Royce's firm. My jaw clenches, the screen's glare burning. How? I ask, voice low. Clara's eyes narrow. They're citing exclusive terms. Smells like poaching. I fire off emails to 2 clients expecting a mix-up. Their replies hit like punches. Moving to Brennan. Better rates. Better. My rates saved them millions. I call a 3rd client, same story. My pulse hammers, the office's hum fading. This isn't a glitch, it's a heist. I loop in my deputy, Miles Tate, 35, a strategist with a poker player's calm and a knack for sniffing out lies. He's at his desk, tie loose, scanning data. Royce is rating you, Dean, he says, his voice steady. He's got inside dirt, your client preferences, your fee structures. My blood runs hot. Inside. My deals are locked tight. We pull client logs tracing $25 million in transfers to Royce's firm, all within weeks. I draft a report to the board, my fingers flying, and demand an audit. Miles backs me, his eyes fierce. We'll bury him. I nod, but doubt creeps in. Lynette's been off late nights at client meetings. Her phone glued to her hand, her kisses rushed. I shoved the thought down the Boise skyline, a cold smear through the office window. Royce's play is bigger than clients, and it's personal. Next morning, I'm back cross-referencing accounts when Miles storms in. Dean, they're switching our CRM to a new platform. Royce's firm uses the same one. My gut twists. A coincidence, or a pipeline for my data. I log 18 anomalies, delayed responses, redirected funds, now this. I escalate the audit request, copying the board's chair, Evelyn Harper, 52, a hawk with no patience for excuses. She calls me in by noon, her office stark, the air heavy with leather and coffee. Dean, you're stirring panic, she says, her voice like tempered steel, leaning back in her chair. Clients shift. It's business. I hold her gaze unflinching. Royce is stealing my accounts with my own playbook. Her eyes narrow, sharp as a blade. Prove it or you're just noise. The air's electric, her challenge a gauntlet. I walk out, my boots echoing on the marble floor, the weight of my career pressing down. Friday night, I'm at the Copper Fox, our team's dive bar, the jukebox growling a Springsteen track. The mood's sour. Miles is nursing a stout, Clara's scrolling her phone, her dark hair catching the neon's glow. Royce is outmaneuvering us. Miles mutters, his jaw tight. Clients are eating his pitch. I slam my glass down, bourbon splashing. Then we flip the board. But my mind's split. Lynette's been distant, her book club ran late again, her texts vague, her perfume sharper than usual. I shake it off, but my chest tightens. My phone buzzes, a text from an unknown number. Check Lynette's laptop. Her office tomorrow, 3 a.m. My pulse spikes, the bar's smoky haze closing in. A tip. A setup. I show Clara. Could be legit, she says, her voice low. Miles leans in, skeptical, is beer forgotten? Or someone's twisting the knife. I don't sleep, the text a spark in my veins, the Boise night heavy against my windows. Saturday, I'm in Lynette's home office at 2:45, heart pounding like I'm robbing my own life. Her laptop's glowing, her password unchanged, my birth date a cruel irony. I open her email and choke on the truth. Messages with Royce intimate laced with promises time-stamped from nights she was working late. Photos her at his downtown condo. His arm around her, her smile the one I thought was ours. My breath catches the screen's light searing my eyes. My wife, my heart in his bed. There's more. A bank transfer $50,000 from our joint account to an account tied to Royce's firm labeled consulting. My blood boils the room spinning the Boise dawn, a gray wound outside. This isn't just an affair, it's a betrayal that's bled me dry. Back in the kitchen, I'm pacing the USB, a live grenade in my pocket. Owen's over his carpenter's grit reading my face. "Dean, you're a damn storm," he says, tossing me a beer, his flannel sleeves rolled up. I want to unload Royce Lynette the money, but his kids are outside, their laughter slicing through the Boise dusk. I choke it back. Rough week, I mutter, the bottle cold in my hand. He grips my shoulder fierce. "You don't fight alone, brother." His words hit, but the war's in my head. I dive into Lynette's emails, finding a thread with Royce. Dean's too buried in work. "You make me feel seen. Seen. I built our life." Worse, an email to her sister Paige. "Cover for me tonight. Book club." My heart cracks, the Boise skyline a blur through the window. This is a revenge story and I'm the fool. Monday, I'm playing the game, but Royce is doubling down. He hosts a client lunch, all charm his watch flashing under the restaurant's lights. Dean's team is top tier, but we're the future, he says, stealing my pitch. My clients nod hooked. I stay stone-faced, my jaw tight. Lynette's perfume still lingering in my memory. After Royce corners me near the bar, his cologne thick with her scent. Dean joined my firm. We're unstoppable. His tones velvet, his eyes venom. I nod cold. I'll pass. He misses the steel in my voice. Big mistake. That afternoon, Clara pulls me into a conference room, her perfume sharp, her voice urgent. "Dean, I found something." She hands me a second USB client, contracts my deals woven into Royce's pitches, plus a memo about consulting fees tied to Lynette. "He's been milking your accounts for months," she says, her eyes blazing, her hand steady as she passes the drive. My blood surges. "My deals?" "My wife." "Why now?" I ask, my voice low. She steps closer, her breath warm. "Because you're worth fighting for." The air crackles, but I pull back, gripping the USB. This fight's for my marriage, my name, my truth. Tuesday, my office badge fails. Security's waiting, new guy Mitch with an HR letter. Suspension pending investigation. Client misconduct. My vision blurs, the paper trembling in my hand. Misconduct. I saved millions. I don't argue, I walk head high, but my gut's a furnace. In my Impala, the engine roaring, I call Miles. He's at the office, says Royce is spinning lies about unauthorized transfers tied to me. Transfers. I built those portfolios. I drive to a diner, the neon sign flickering, and open my laptop. I've got emails, logs, proof. Then I pull up Lynette's bank records, my heart splintering. Another $30,000 gone wired to Royce's account. "You're my everything," she texted him last night. Everything. I was her husband. My blood boils, the diner's coffee bitter as betrayal. Wednesday morning, the anonymous text, "Check Lynette's laptop," is a knife in my gut. I'm Dean Strickland, 48, suspended from the Boise financial firm I carried for 22 years. My $90 million client deal stolen by Royce Brennan, the man sleeping with my wife Lynette. Her emails and $80,000 siphoned from our account burn in my mind, Clara's USB proof of Royce's theft heavy in my pocket. This isn't just an affair, it's a heist, and I'm tearing it apart. I'm up before dawn, coffee bitter as betrayal, diving into Lynette's digital trail. Using an old password trick from my leaner days, I crack her cloud drive. Her emails with Royce are raw. Dean's distracted. "You're my escape," she wrote last week. My jaw clenches, but there's more transfers to a Boise account under RB Consulting. $120,000 total funneled through shell companies. My blood boils. She didn't just cheat, she's bankrolling his scam. I encrypt the files, stashing the drive in my safe hand steady, but my pulse a drum. Royce isn't just a lover, he's a thief, and Lynette's his accomplice. At 7 a.m., I call Miles Tate, my deputy. He's at the office, dodging Royce's new analysts, mangling my client relationships. "Dean, it's a mess," he says, voice low. "Clients are jumping ship, accounts bleeding. My deal's $90 million in revenue gutted by greed." "What about Clara?" I ask. Miles hesitates. Vance is rattled. Said she's taking personal time. Clara Vance, my lead analyst who'd charm a client through a crisis, bailing now. My instincts scream foul. "Track her," I say. "And Royce," Miles grunts. "On it." I hit the firm's client logs, hunting Royce's tracks. They're fake consulting fees to RB Consulting buried as marketing expenses tied to Lynette's login. My chest tightens. Lynette. My wife rigging my books. I text her, "Meet me." Noon. No reply. My mind races. She's not just cheating, she's framing me. I pull up the server logs, finding tampered client data timestamped to Lynette's late-night sessions. This is a revenge story, and I'm the fall guy. Noon, I'm at a diner off State Street meeting Ethan Cole, 52, a private investigator with a knack for corporate dirt. He slides in eyes like flint. Dean Royce has a fixer, Silas Drake, ex-security consultant. He sent that text. My pulse spikes. The tip, the frame, a setup. Ethan hands me a flash drive. Drake's records. Royce is paying him to paint you as a fraud. I pocket it, jaw clenched. Drake's play. Ethan leans in, voice low. He's forging invoices, $1. 8 million embezzlement, all pointing to you. I nod, the game clear. Royce isn't just stealing my life, he's burying me. Back at my loft, Owen's there, his carpenter's calm, reading my mood. Dean, you're a damn hurricane, he says, cracking a beer, his work boots scuffed. I want to spill Royce Lynette the money, but his kids are outside, their laughter, a blade in my chest. I choke it back. Rough patch, I mutter, the bottle cold in my hand. He grabs my arm, fierce. You don't fight alone, man. His words hit, but the war's in my head. I hack Royce's firm's server, old skills razor sharp, and find a gold mine. My client contract's rebranded as Brennan Wealth, set for a $50 million rollout. Worse, a dossier, my morning runs, Owen's workshop, my Impala's plates. My blood runs cold. Royce isn't just after my deals, he's after my family. I'm about to call Miles when Lynette texts. Dean, I messed up. Meet me at the old warehouse, 7 p.m. No explanation, just desperation. My gut screams trap, but she's still my wife. I grab my keys and roll. The warehouse is a ghost, empty crates, dust swirling in the Boise sunset. Lynette's waiting, pale hands twisting her scarf. Royce pressured me, she admits, voice breaking. He needed money for his firm, said it was temporary. My fists clench. Temporary. She drained our account. Why him? I snarl, stepping closer. She meets my gaze, shattered. You were always at work, Dean. He saw me. Her breath catches the air, heavy. What's his endgame? I demand, voice ice. She swallows. He's meeting investors tomorrow night, the Ivory Club closing the deal. I nod, rage coiling. You're with me, or you're gone. She nods, tears falling her eyes, pleading. Trust's dead, but I need her access. Friday morning, I'm at my loft, plotting. Owen texts. Found dirt. Royce is dodging taxes, buddy at the IRS, saw his filings. My brother, the silent warrior, digging for me. I call Ethan. Need a way into the Ivory Club, I say. He chuckles sharp. Gotta contact ex-waiter, hates suits. You're in. I'm not crashing Royce's deal, I'm torching it. I hack the Ivory Club's network cameras, guest lists, Wi-Fi. It's tight, but I've cracked worse. Royce's emails reveal more. Strickland's suspension buys us time. Close before he talks. Close. The word sears the loft's cedar walls, closing in. That afternoon, Miles calls. Dean, your USB's legit? Royce's firm is losing clients, bad terms. Why's he pushing it? I take a risk. He's cashing out. Check RB Consulting. Miles pauses then. We're auditing his accounts. Stay sharp. Adrenaline surges. The board's waking up, but Royce isn't asleep. My phone pings anonymous text. Strickland, we know your brother's fishing spots. Back off. My breath catches. Owen. Drake's hitting my family, the Boise Skyline. A silent witness through the loft's window. Friday night, I'm outside the Ivory Club, Boise's elite haven, all glass, and whispers. Ethan's guy slips me past security, my borrowed blazer tight. Inside, it's velvet and cigar smoke. Royce at a private booth with Vince Brennan and 2 investors laughing like kings. My blood simmers, but I stay cold, sliding into a corner. I've got a burner phone with Clara's app, a data sniffer to grab their files. I text Miles, parked nearby with a signal jammer. Go. Their Wi-Fi drops, forcing them to my rigged hotspot. Contracts, emails, deal memos. Everything streams to me, the club's low hum masking my pulse. The first twist hits like a freight train. A hand grabs my shoulder. I spin, expecting a bouncer, but it's Lynette, eyes blazing, no trace of last night's wreck. Dean, I'm in, she whispers, her perfume sharp. Royce threatened to expose my transfers if I didn't play along. Before I can respond, Royce spots us. His face shifts, shock, then rage. He strides over Vince, trailing his boots clicking on the polished floor. Strickland, he sneers, you're a dead man walking. I stand locking eyes. You stole my deals, my wife. You're finished. Lynette's at my side, unyielding, her presence a spark. The air crackles, the club's elite, watching their drinks forgotten. The second twist lands like a collapsing vault. A woman steps forward, Evelyn Harper, the board's chair, holding a tablet, her heels sharp against the floor. Royce isn't just poaching, she says, voice like a guillotine. He's laundering money through his firm. She swipes, showing bank records, RB Consulting, $10 million funneled offshore. My jaw drops. Evelyn. Here. Her eyes meet mine, fierce. You didn't think I'd let him gut us, did you? I forgot Evelyn's a titan in Boise's finance world. She's not just my boss, she's my trump card. Royce pales, stammering. Lies. Vince bolts, but security's closing in, not for us. Evelyn signaled a state auditor waiting outside the club's lights glinting off her tablet. Chaos erupts. Royce lunges for the tablet, but Lynette blocks him, swift her shoulder brushing mine. The auditor steps in, badge gleaming. Royce Brennan, you're coming with us. The club clears, whispers trailing like smoke. I'm left with Lynette and Evelyn, my pulse a drum. Evelyn saved me, but Lynette's eyes are cold. You didn't trust me, Dean, she says, voice low, her scarf slipping. We're not done. She walks out, her silhouette fading into the Boise night. Evelyn grips my arm. We got him, but victory tastes like ash. Saturday, I'm at my loft, the silence deafening. Miles calls. Royce is detained, his firm's done. We're auditing RB Consulting. You're cleared, Dean. We want you back. I nod, but my mind's on Lynette. I shut her out, fought alone, and it cost us. I drive to her sister's place where Paige is packing Lynette's things, her face guarded. She's sorry, Paige starts, voice soft. I cut her off. She chose him. Paige nods, eyes sad. She's at a hotel. Talk to her. I don't argue, it's a start. Tell me where, I say, stepping closer. Paige hesitates, then writes an address. Don't hate her, Dean. I walk out the Boise skyline, flickering my heart, a tangle of rage and regret. Sunday, I'm chasing Drake's trail. Ethan's drive has a lead. Payments to a local journalist prepping a smear piece on me. Drake's still out there, a shadow. My phone buzzes Clara. Dean, Lynette found something. She hands me a tablet, Royce's firm's internal memo dated yesterday, outlining a backup plan to relaunch my contracts under a shell company, Pinnacle Financial. Royce's name is gone, but Vince Brennan is listed as CEO. My jaw tightens. Royce is down, but his brother's keeping the scam alive. I call Lynette. You okay? She's steady but tense. I'm fine. But Pinnacle's using your work, Dean. They're not done. I lean back, the loft's cedar walls grounding me. Then neither are we. Monday, I meet Ethan at a park, the Boise River rushing nearby. Pinnacle's a front, he says, handing me another drive. Drake's running their data. He's got to mole someone close. My stomach drops. Close. I trust Miles, Evelyn, but Lynette. Her guilt, her distance, it gnaws at me. Find the mole, I say. Ethan nods grim. Watch your back, Dean. Drake's a ghost. Tuesday. I'm at the office, cross-referencing Pinnacle's contracts. I find a thread. Pinnacle's funding traces to a Boise VC Horizon Partners where Clara's brother is a partner. My breath catches. Clara. The third twist cuts deep. She's not just rattled, she's complicit. I save the evidence, my hands shaking, the office's hum fading. This isn't just Royce, it's a network. Wednesday, I confront Clara at her condo door, locked. You sold me out, I say, tossing the logs on her table. Her eyes flash, wounded. You think I'm the mole? She pulls up her laptop, showing emails she intercepted, Drake's orders to an unknown insider, not her. I'm fighting for you, Dean, she says, voice breaking, her hands trembling. My chest aches. I misjudged her again. I'm sorry, I mutter, stepping closer. She nods, but the rift lingers. We need to hit Pinnacle, she says, her voice steel. Hard. I agree, the fire reigniting, her eyes locking with mine. Thursday, I meet a whistleblower from Horizon Partners, Tessa Wade, 41, a compliance officer who smells a scam. She slides me a folder, Horizon's investments in Pinnacle, funneled through offshore accounts linked to Vince. Clara's brother is neck deep. Tessa whispers, the park's wind rustling. My mind races. Clara's clean, but her family's dirty. I thank Tessa, my resolve hardening. This fight's bigger than Royce, it's a syndicate. Friday, I hack Pinnacle's servers, finding my contracts in their pipeline. But there's a fourth twist. A hidden clause in the client terms not mine, set to tank deals under audit. My heart sinks. Someone inside the firm planted it, and it's not Lynette. I call Miles. Check Evelyn's access logs. He hesitates. Evelyn. She's solid, Dean. I don't buy it. Check. Hours later, he calls back, voice grim. You're right. Evelyn's been logging in after hours, tweaking the terms. Evelyn, the chair who saved me at the Ivory Club. The betrayal burns like acid. Saturday, I confront Evelyn at her office door, shut the Boise skyline stark behind her. Why? I demand, tossing the logs on her desk. She doesn't flinch, her eyes cold. Royce offered me a stake, she says, voice flat. I took it. You're too loyal, Dean. My fists clench. You sold us out. She leans in, her perfume sharp. Join Pinnacle. They'll pay. I laugh bitter, the tablet heavy in my hand. I'm not you. I walk out, her betrayal await, the city's lights flickering below. Monday morning. Miles Tate's call, director of client relations, reinstated full control, lands like a lifeline, but Lynette's words echo. You didn't trust me, Dean. I'm Dean Strickland, 48, back at the Boise financial firm I carried for 22 years. My $90 million client deals nearly gutted by Royce Brennan, my wife's lover, and his syndicate. Royce has detained Pinnacle Financial's crumbling, and my accounts are secure, but Evelyn Harper's betrayal and Silas Drake's shadow linger. Lynette's guilt is a wound and trust is a ghost. This fight's not over. It's a fire I'm still stoking. I'm on site, the Boise Airsharp, rebuilding my client network with Miles. Dean, we're stabilizing, he says, his jaw tight. Clients are back, but the CRM's shaky. My deal's $90 million in revenue were nearly bled dry. I nod, my focus split. Lynette. Miles shrugs. She's at her sister's lying low. Lynette, who drained our account for Royce, is a stranger now. I spot Clara Vance across the office, her dark hair catching the light, her laptop steady. She's proven herself, but her brother's ties to Pinnacle gnaw at me. One shot, I mutter. Miles nods, but the air's thick. Loyalty's a gamble. By noon, I'm scouring the firm's financials, hunting Drake's tracks. Ethan Cole texts. Drake's moving. Pay to Boise Detective Lucas Reed to dig into your taxes. My pulse spikes. Taxes. Drake's scraping for dirt and Reed's a badge for hire. I hack Pinnacle's server again, finding a forged invoice in my name, $2. $2 million siphoned from client funds. Embezzlement. The frame's tightening and Royce's emails are active even from jail. I save it, my gut churning. Royce is down, but his web's alive. That afternoon, Miles calls me to the boardroom. Clara's there with Nora Wade, a new board member with a prosecutor's edge. Miles is all business. Dean Pinnacle's finished. Royce laundered millions through them. We're suing. I nod, but my eyes are on Clara. She's too calm, her pen steady. What's the catch? I ask. Miles sighs. Royce claims you rigged the CRM, faked the evidence. He's out on bail and his lawyer's pushing a countersuit. The first twist hits like a snapped wire. Bail. After laundering theft, the auditor bust. Nora leans in. Dean, we need your deals locked. Take the role or we're exposed. It's a deal with teeth. I don't blink. I'm in. My team, my contract's no leash. Miles nods relieved. Clara's eyes flicker guilt or something darker. I'm not buying her innocence. As I leave, my phone pings anonymous text. Strickland, we know your brother's workshop. Quit or it burns. My breath catches. Owen, Drake's hitting my family. I delete it, but the threat festers like rot. Tuesday. I'm briefing Owen at my loft. He's in work boots, his carpenter's calm unshaken. I found more, he says, handing me a USB. It's a city auditor's memo, RB Consulting dodging $12 million in taxes. My buddy at the IRS flagged it, he adds. My brother, my rock digging for me. My chest tightens. What's your move? He asks. I lean in, voice low. Cut his cash. His offshore accounts are his lifeline. He nods fierce. Don't lose yourself, Dean. His words linger as I grip his shoulder, his strength, my anchor. That night, I'm chasing Royce's offshore trail. Ethan's intel points to a Bahamas account layered through shell firms. I hack deeper, finding a ledger. $18 million from Pinnacle to Royce funneled via Horizon Partners. The name stops me cold. Clara's brother is Horizon's CFO. The second twist burns. Clara, my ally, is tied to Royce's money. I save it, my blood simmering. This isn't just Royce, it's a machine. Wednesday, I confront Clara at her office door shut. Horizon Partners, I say, dropping the ledger. She pales, stammering. Dean, I cut her off. Your brother's profiting while Royce guts us. Flip or I go to Miles. Her eyes dart, but she nods cornered. What do you need? I lean in cold. Feed Royce's lawyer bad data. Stall the countersuit. She agrees, sweating. I've got a mole, but it's a razor's edge. Clara's no friend. Thursday hits like a storm. I'm on-site rebuilding with Miles and Nora. Lynette's back working remotely, her client emails flawless, but her silence deafening. I pull her into a call, the screen's glare stark. You solid? She meets my gaze raw. I'm trying, Dean. I owe you? I nod, not forgiving, but accepting. The team's holding client churn down 20%, deals steady. But my phone buzzes, Ethan. Drake's escalating. Drafted a police report, your name on it. Fraud and sabotage. My heart races. The frame's closing. I call Owen. Stay with Mom tonight, I say. Safe. His voice is steady. We've got this brother. That afternoon, Miles calls. Dean board's meeting. Emergency. Royce is here. Here. On bail, disgraced. I storm to the boardroom where Royce stands, suit-crisp lawyer, smirking. Miles is furious, Clara's tense, Nora's avoiding my gaze. Royce's voice is silk. Dean rigged the CRM, faked the evidence. I'm the victim. His lawyer slides a tablet, screenshots of my server hacks, spun to look criminal. My stomach drops. They've got me twisted into a crook. Miles snaps, Dean explain. I don't waver. Royce is framing me to hide his laundering. Ask Clara about Horizon. Clara flinches, caught. The room erupts, but Miles slams the table. We're auditing Horizon. Now. I walk out head high, but my pulse is a drum. Royce is playing dirty and he's good. I call Ethan. They've got my hacks, I say. He curses. Drake's work. End this. He gives a lead. Royce is meeting Pinnacle tonight, a warehouse on Front Street. Crash it, Ethan says. I'm all in. Friday night I'm at the warehouse, Boise's night air thick with grit. Miles is with me, Lynette on lookout. Inside, Royce is with Vince Brennan and a Pinnacle exec, voices low over contracts. I've got a recorder, Lynette's docs, and a burner phone. The plan? Catch them red-handed. But the third twist hits. A flashlight blinds me. Lucas Reed, the dirty cop badge gleaming. Strickland hands up. My heart pounds, but I stay calm. Wrong play, Reed. He smirks. Royce pays better. Before I can move, Lynette dives from the shadows, tackling Reed. Miles grabs the badge. We're not fighters, but we're cornered. Royce's voice cuts through. Dean, you're nothing. He steps forward, unfazed. You can't stop Maresta. System. I'm sorry, but the response was cut off before it could be completed. To provide the full part 3 of the revenge story. Betrayed bonds for revenge with Jack. I'll continue from where the narrative left off, ensuring it remains seamless with parts 1 and 2, incorporates additional twists for heightened drama, and meets all specified requirements. The story will conclude with the requested call to action: adhere to YouTube's community guidelines and avoid repetition with prior stories. Revenge with Luke, cheating stories X Revenge with Jack. The tone will remain masculine, action-driven, and emotionally resonant for the 45-plus male American audience, with a length of 1,000,1800 words, 500,900 characters to fit the overall story target of 5,800,500 words. The narrative will maintain the Boise, Idaho setting, financial services backdrop, and logical stakes. $150 million firm revenue, Dean's $90 million contribution. I hold up the recorder streaming to Miles's server. You stole my deals, my wife, and laundered millions. You're done. His face twists, but Vince bolts, triggering alarms. Sirens wail Lynette's tip to a state auditor, perfectly timed. Reed scrambles, but Miles pins him, the warehouse's dust swirling in the Boise night. Royce lunges, but I sidestep, 22 years of grit outmatching his polish. Game over, I say, my voice ice. He's cuffed as the raid sweeps in. Vince and the Pinnacle exec nab their contracts, scattered like ash. Saturday, I'm at my loft, the cedar walls silent. Miles calls. Royce is facing trial. Pinnacle's done. You're cleared, Dean. Director's yours. I nod, but my eyes are on Lynette's scarf left on the couch. She fought for me, but her betrayal, $120,000. Royce's bed cuts deeper than victory. I drive to her hotel, the Boise Skyline a blur. She's in the lobby, pale, her blonde curls loose. Dean, she starts, voice raw. I was lost. Forgive me. I meet her gaze, my heart a tangle. You chose him, Lynette. Why? She chokes, tears falling. You were my world, but work buried you. Royce was a mistake. Her words sting, the lobby's dim lights casting long shadows. I don't answer, just walk away, the weight of 10 years heavy on my shoulders. Sunday, I'm chasing Silas Drake's trail. Ethan Cole's drive has a lead. Payments to a Boise blogger prepping a hit piece on me, fraud, embezzlement, lies. Drake's a phantom still hunting. My phone buzzes, Clara Vance. Dean found something. She sends a file, Pinnacle's backup plan dated yesterday, to relaunch my contracts under a new shell, Apex Wealth, with Vince Brennan as CEO. My jaw tightens. Royce is locked up, but his brother's keeping the scam alive. I call Lynette. You safe? She's tense but steady. I'm okay. Apex is using your deals, Dean. They're relentless. I lean back, the loft's windows fogging in the Boise chill. Then we hit harder. Monday, I meet Ethan at a park, the Snake River glinting nearby. Apex is a front, he says, handing me a drive. Drake's running their data, and he's got to mole someone inside your firm. My stomach drops. Inside. I trust Miles, Nora, but Lynette. Her remorse feels real, but doubt gnaws. Find the mole, I say. Ethan nods, grim. Drake's a vulture, Dean. Watch your family. My thoughts flash to Owen, his kids, their laughter a lifeline. I won't let Drake touch them. Tuesday, I'm at the office cross-referencing Apex's contracts. I find a thread. Apex's funding traces to a Boise VC Horizon Partners, where Clara's brother, Gavin Vance, is CFO. The third twist lands like a sledgehammer. Gavin, who I mentored years ago, is bankrolling Apex. I save the evidence, my hands steady, the office's hum fading. This isn't just Royce, it's a syndicate, and I trained one of its players. I call Clara. Your brother's dirty, I say, voice low. She's silent then. I know. I'm sorry, Dean. He's been dodging me. Her voice cracks, but I'm cold. Help me end this or you're out. She agrees, her loyalty a fragile thread. Wednesday, I confront Gavin at his downtown office door locked. Horizon's funding Apex, I say, tossing the ledger on his desk. He smirks, leaning back, his tie loose. You taught me well, Dean. Profit over loyalty. My fists clench, his betrayal a knife. You're selling my deals. He laughs sharp. Join Apex. We'll make you rich. I step closer, voice ice. I'd rather burn it down. I walk out, his smirk a challenge, the Boise skyline stark through his window. I send the ledger to Nora, my resolve ironclad. Thursday, the fourth twist hits. I'm at the office when Miles bursts in. Dean, Lynette's gone. My heart stops. Gone! I call her, no answer. Her hotel room's empty, her phone off. Panic claws at me, but I focus. I hack Apex's server finding a new email. Strickland's wife is leverage. Secure her. My blood runs cold. Drake has Lynette. I call Ethan. Find her. Now. He's already moving. Drake's got a safe house old warehouse on Curtis Road. I'm with you. I grab my keys, the Impala's engine roaring Boise streets a blur. Thursday night, I'm at the warehouse, Ethan at my side, the air thick with oil and dust. Lynette's inside, tied to a chair, Drake looming, his gun glinting. My pulse hammers, but I stay calm. Let her go, Drake, I say, stepping into the light. He sneers, his voice gravel. You're a loose end, Strickland. Lynette's eyes meet mine, terrified but defiant. Dean, don't, she whispers. Ethan signals cops are en route, tipped by Nora. I keep Drake talking, my voice steady. Royce is done. Apex is next. You're alone. His grip falters, doubt creeping in. Sirens wail, and Ethan moves, disarming Drake in a flash. I untie Lynette, her hands trembling in mine, the warehouse's shadows swallowing Drake as cops swarm. Friday, I'm at the hospital. Lynette shaken but unharmed. I thought I could fix it, she says, voice breaking, her hand clutching mine. I went to Apex to expose them. My chest aches. She risked her life, but her betrayal still burns. Why didn't you tell me? I ask, voice low. Her eyes well. I didn't trust myself. I don't answer, the hospital's sterile hum filling the silence. Miles texts. Apex is shut down. Gavin's arrested. You're clean. Victory, but it's hollow. Saturday, I'm at my loft, the cedar walls grounding me. Nora calls. Dean, your director. Firm's yours to rebuild. I nod, but my mind's on Lynette staying with Paige, her sister. I visit the Boise skyline softening in the dusk. I'm sorry, I start, my voice rough. She cuts me off. You fought for us, Dean. Now fight for you. We talk jagged, raw, no promises. It's a spark, not a flame, her green eyes holding a sliver of hope. Sunday, I'm digging into Drake's network. Ethan's drive has a final lead. A payment to a board member, Nora Wade. The fifth twist cuts like glass. Nora, my ally, was feeding Drake intel. I confront her at her office door shut. You played me, I say, tossing the evidence. She doesn't flinch, her eyes cold. I had debts, Dean. Apex paid. My fists clench. You sold my life. She leans in, voice flat. Take the firm. It's yours. I walk out, her betrayal, await the city's lights flickering. Weeks later, I'm director, my contract stronger, my team solid. Royce faces trial, Gavin's indicted, Nora's gone. Lynette and I are separated, rebuilding trust inch by inch. But a text arrives. Nice win, Strickland. I'm not done. No name, but it's Drake. My pulse spikes, but I shut my phone. Trust is a risk, but it's all we've got. I mutter my old creed. Did I fight too hard or not enough? Should I forgive Lynette or let her go? Rebuild love or walk alone? Like what you heard. Hit that like button. Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to Revenge with Jack, because the next story might just be your favorite one yet.